listening, and we ain't waiting anymore to be champions. Gotta win, gotta fight, yeah. This is Missouri, we ain't taking our time. Oh, we in a hurry. Screw red and blue. We are Mizzou. We are Mizzou.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
That seemed like a school that belongs in this conference.
Well,
based on what you just heard.
I never have much critical to say about what you put in the cold opening there in front of our intro, but I question your judgment today.
Well,
I question your judgment.
The reasoning and rationale behind the idiotic message you heard prior to our open is to kind of direct a statement that, and it's more of a joke because Missouri has earned certain accolades to being in this conference, but there's always this fun joke to play with Missouri fans that, hey, you don't really belong in the SEC. There was a great article written by Sam Kahn Jr. and some other ESPN writers talking about the discourse and the change from the Southwest Conference and Arkansas jumping ship, which really was the demise of the Southwest Conference.
It began really Arkansas and South Carolina, but Arkansas was first, was the first big domino in a landslide or a total change of landscape of college athletics, which kicked off a total change in what conference realignment looked like. I mean, we didn't even think about what conference realignment wasn't anything we thought about in the 80s. Arkansas moves to the SEC, and then by the mid-90s, the whole landscape of college athletics looks different.
Think about the Pac-12, the ACC, the Big Ten. Certain schools have moved, and when it came
in style to move conferences.
When Arkansas moved to the SEC, it felt like a fit, and it's not just me as a guy that grew up as a Razorback fan saying that. You talk to other now. It hadn't seemed like that lately because your football program's been down in the dumps. But initially, when it happened, and then Arkansas got to the SEC championship pretty early in 1995, it was like, this is going to work. This is a good fit. Arkansas's got this history of having a good football program. Frank Broyles was leading the charge, leading the way, and it felt cohesive. It felt like a good fit. You got along with a lot of other SEC fans, and the rivalries became mean-spirited in what you were used to in the old Southwest Conference days. But part of the reason I don't know if this rivalry is ever going to get to the point where some of us want it to be, or at least to get more talking points, is because it feels like Missouri doesn't fit in the Southeastern Conference. And I say that again jokingly because it's fun to poke fun at Mizzou fans. But if you go to their campus, if you go to Columbia, and I hope I'm not irritating Bob Holt this morning, who is a Missouri graduate.
He's not up this early.
Yeah, he is probably not. But it just doesn't feel like that. Go to other SEC schools, go to a football atmosphere, and then go to Missouri. It is vastly different. Vanderbilt holds up the academic portion for the SEC, and Missouri likes to say they do, and they do have a good journalism program, even though that there's certain things that have occurred at this school that, like, I thought that's not what journalism is. But it's just hilarious to me how irritated Missouri fans get when you say, you guys don't really belong in the SEC, because we make Aggie jokes, we say certain schools can't do this, certain schools can't do that. Missouri just doesn't fit in this conference.
So what's the name of the conference again?
Southeastern Conference.
The what? The Southeastern. They're not in the South.
Midwest.
They're upper Midwest or what. And, they're up there by St. Louis, between St. Louis and Kansas City. Yeah, that's part of the issue. They don't really have the culture that we share in the South. They don't really have Southern roots and culture in Columbia, Missouri. And that's part of why Kentucky is not really a football school. Kentucky's in this league because they got good moonshine good bourbon, and good basketball. That's why we let them, and good horse racing, of course, too. That's why we let Kentucky in this league. Other than that, all the other schools in this league are, Southern schools, have Southern roots, Southern feels. We have some redneck to us, the rest of us. They don't have any redneck to them in Missouri.
What does Missouri bring to the table? That's a legitimate question. If you're Southeastern Conference, what does
Missouri?
Missouri?
Good academic school.
But we have Vanderbilt. We're good on that. They hold up the entire conference with their academia. That's we only need one. It's okay. And Missouri, and listen, Gary Pinkel was a good football coach. You think about the team they had, it's either 07 or 08, that they at one point were number one in college football. They went to 2 SEC championships. This is not a fit to me. And I don't know if it will be because, as you mentioned, geographically. Now, Arkansas isn't necessarily east, but you're definitely a southern state. There's no question. There's no question.
We got plenty of rednecks
about that. And with Missouri, just the when you go to an atmosphere of a football game, and I've only had the fortune to go to an Ole Miss game and a Missouri game. And listen, you can say what you want about Ole Miss, and there's plenty of things that we can make fun of those preppy SOBs for. But it still feels like a Southeastern Conference atmosphere. Missouri, it was like a big high school game almost. And that's honestly, that's kind of a disservice to high school football atmospheres because those are pure. Those are angelic. Missouri's stadium, and I think they're doing more renovations on it. That place is just it doesn't bring anything.
Well, now in fairness, neither was Fayetteville and 20 years ago Fayetteville Stadium wasn't up to that standard either. So,
but that's the 90s.
Well, I understand, but
it's 2020.
I don't know if that's quite fair. We've got to give them time because the Big 12 didn't have the money, the finances, the conference distributions. You don't just snap your fingers and renovate your stadium. And it takes tens of millions of dollars and half a decade or more to get that done.
And what does it also take? Support. And you brought this up earlier this week, especially with the reemergence of the Kansas City Chiefs behind the arm of Patrick Mahomes, behind the Legion of Zoom.
You're at best third in that state. You got the Chiefs, you got the St. Louis Cardinals, and then maybe, and it's a stretch, maybe you might be third if you're Missouri Tigers anything.
We've had some people text in from Kansas City and Missouri that say Jayhawk basketball is a bigger deal than Missouri football.
But the state's bigger than just Kansas City.
Yeah, and it is because it's borderline and stuff. But, you think about the alumni base that's there that kind of stretches into Missouri. That's a legitimate argument. And when you deal with professional sports teams inside your state, it's a lot harder to compete.
And we didn't even mention the Royals.
Yeah, and then Kansas City, that's obviously
they're good once every 20 years.
Yeah, we need another George Brett. I at least pose as a Royals fan. I'm just not,
folks.
I'm not a huge baseball fan, but everyone in Little Rock is
hard when you're dealing with the 11-time world champions on the other side of the state.
Yeah, everyone in Little Rock is a Cardinals fan, so I had to do something different. But that is the obstacle and one of the many obstacles that Missouri has to climb. Now, they do have some good, we mentioned Kansas City, St. Louis. They do have some big-time areas recruiting for both basketball and football. But if you want to say Missouri adds more to the basketball realm, like you talked about with Kentucky, I'm okay with that based on their history. But football-wise, give me a break. The fact that there's even a comparison between the Arkansas football program and the Missouri football program is a joke. Now, lately, Missouri's won that battle. Start this decade out strong. Beat the tar out of them on Saturday.
All right, off and running on a Football Friday, brought to you by OG&E. If you're an Arkansas customer from OG&E, they have a no-cost program to increase your comfort and to lower your bills. They got trained crews that come out to your home, do energy audits at no cost to you. If your home qualifies, they'll come back with measures like attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. Again, this is a no-charge program for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from this, call OG&E today, 1-800-272-9741, 800-272-9741.
Does Missouri belong in the SEC?
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
We had two people over here cooking mess out in the back barn behind the house.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Pre-order your holiday hot tub today at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. You can pre-order right now and save up to $1,000 off on select models at Burton Pools and Spas. Hot tubs start at $28.95 with 26 models to choose from. Don't forget about endless pools with 8 swim spa models to choose from. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. See, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your voice lets him know he's safe. Shelter Insurance does the same for you. Roadside assistance is now included with your auto policy. So if your car leaves you stranded, just call and we'll take care of you while you take care of what's most important. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. Wear your shield, wear your shelter. Some restrictions apply.
Ask Shelter agents Ted McAvoy or Jeff Clark about a free insurance review.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Hey, this is Ted with Ed Walker's Drive-In. For more than 70 years, Ed Walker's has been the place to go for the best French dips and hand-patted hamburgers in town. Blue Plate Specials served Monday through Friday, and we're still the home of Fort Smith's only 5-pound hamburger. We're open 10 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. Call ahead for pickup, 783-3352. Ed Walker's Drive-In, 1500 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, where the legend lives on.
Deer hunters, it's prime time, and the Deer Woods are the place to be. Jelco Outdoors has all the supplies and gear to make your hunt one to remember. Men's, women's, and children's boots and clothing to keep you warm and dry. Tree stands, scents, calls, safety vests, firearms, archery. Jelco has it all for you. Best of luck to all hunters. Stay safe, and remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Evans Body Shop would like to take a moment to say thank you to our community, friends, family, and crew. Thank you for voting us the best independent body shop in the River Valley for the 3rd year in a row. Thank you for supporting us and trusting us with your vehicles for the last 14 years. Thank you for your referrals and reviews that sing our praises. We truly appreciate each and every one of you that have helped build our business and excellent reputation. From our family at Evans Body Shop to yours, have a very Merry Christmas and a blessed holiday season.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Franks eludes the pressure, rolling left, got a man, Burks at the 20, trailing to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Arkansas! Traylon Burks, 49 yards, his first touchdown as a Razorback.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
We opened the show this morning with the question, does Missouri belong in the Southeastern Conference? Got a couple calls that we will get to in just one sec. 877-377-6963.
We are brought to you by World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. In business for 25 years. They got some great stuff going on right now when you make the move to DISH. You can get a $100 Visa gift card just in time for Christmas. Plus, they're including the voice-activated remotes that include Google Assistant in every room in the home. That is a great upgrade. I've got the Google Assistant, and instead of trying to find, Arkansas Razorback basketball or football on the guide because you're not sure what channel it's on, you just say Arkansas Razorback football into your remote. You push the button, it finds it. Or you want to find Discovery Channel or HGTV or whatever it is. Find me the SEC network. It just
does
you
it
just
for
speak
you.
it and it finds it, man. It is great. Plus, I've got mine hooked up to my Alexa. You can also hook it up to the Google Home Hub, and you can be even lazier. Hey, Alexa, change the channel to ESPN. Boom, changes it. It's just awesome. So, it is great technology. You can record up to 16 things at once. And, again, you get a $100 Visa gift card for Christmas when you sign up now. If all that sounds good to you and you want to lower your bill, lock in your price for 2 years, you can do it. World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH.
Going to have Dave Matter, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, joining us at 8 o'clock this morning, get more in-depth on the Missouri game. Clay Henry will be joining us, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, at 7. We'll get into his keys to the game coming up. But first, want to go to the phone lines and welcome in JW in London. JW, you're on the Morning Rush.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Hey, as I pushed the button this morning about a few minutes after 6, as I want to do every morning, I hear you talking about something that I've been talking about since Missouri joined the SEC. And don't get me wrong, I love those people up there, but there is no way in the world that the University of Missouri, or whatever they call it, is an SEC state. I have my oldest son-in-law, married to my oldest stepdaughter, lives in Kansas City. He's the biggest Royals fan and the biggest Kansas City Chiefs fan in the world. The only way he will know that Missouri is playing Arkansas this weekend is that if I tell him. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
And I find that all across the realm. It just, like I said, they can play. I'm not taking anything against them as people or as a program, but they're not an SEC team. They're just not. I wanted Oklahoma. Well, actually, I wanted Texas, but they haven't got the cojones to join the SEC. So Oklahoma would work as a border state rivalry between Arkansas and the territory. Oklahoma is very much an SEC-style team, more than a Big 12.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Missouri needs to go to the Big 12, and like I said, I have nothing against those people. They're great people, but it's just not an SEC caliber team.
Jay, the reasoning behind this is what? Television.
That's it.
You pull in St. Louis, you pull in Kansas City,
Springfield to a degree.
JW, appreciate the call, but you're hammering the nail that we did earlier this week, yesterday, and we'll continue to do today. Missouri, you don't even know if they're third fiddle in the state. There's legitimate argument that they're fourth. Now, There are certain schools within the SEC where
definitely fourth.
The team is second, maybe third. But for Missouri, like you mentioned with your son-in-law, then like I would like high school. If you went and asked high school football players in the state, hey, who's the starting quarterback for the Missouri Tigers? Most of them wouldn't say Connor Bazelak. They wouldn't know. Now, if you ask them the Chiefs, they of course know. It's Patrick Mahomes. He's the best player in football.
And think if the Rams were still in St. Louis.
And whoever, they pull that in too. But that is something that is an uphill climb that they are just always going to have to deal with.
I mean, and then we didn't even think about hockey. You got a Stanley Cup team, year before last? And
whenever the Blues won.
Yeah, exactly.
So back to the phone lines, going out to Hot Springs, welcoming in Ryan. Ryan, you're on the Morning Rush.
Hey, so I don't really like getting into all this who belongs, who don't belong. You know, that's just kind of not my thing because, you know, it's kind of how they were doing in Arkansas the last 2 years. But I will say this, with their uniform reveals, you kind of wonder if they've ever been in a big conference before because they are atrocious. They do it like this half, almost cuss there, half troll there that it's just like, what are you doing? It's just awful. And I'll say this for Vandy. They're not just smart. They also bring quite a bit to the baseball field, too. And I'll leave y'all with that. And, what time do y'all's pregame start tomorrow?
7 a.m. 0700.
All right. Have a good day, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Appreciate it, Ryan. Yep, Tim Corbin has done a fantastic job in Nashville with that baseball program, and they're going to continue to be dominant despite whatever athletic director program transition, whatever transition there is, they are going to continue to be dominant. And so Missouri, like you mentioned, academia, that's what they bring to the SEC. And yes, Missouri has good academics, but I just make the joke that you only need one school if you're looking at that. All right, one more call real quick. Terrence, you got about a minute out in Bella Vista. Go ahead.
Hey, guys, good morning. The poll question is a great question. I like it because I think if you really look at it, the way they came into the SEC is basically the biggest problem I have with it. They're basically west of the Mississippi, but they're in the Eastern Division. So they're geographically not set to be in the SEC as well as that. And then you look at the fact that they're trying to develop a rivalry between Arkansas to make it a big deal to make him fit even more, and it's just not there. You're trying to manufacture something that just isn't there. It was great that they did come in when they did into the East with the football team. They had success early on, but it fizzled after 2 years, and it's like, okay, they're kind of ho-hum again. So I believe because they went to the east of the SEC, it's not so much of a good fit for it. And then the fact that they just don't have a true rivalry with any of the schools in the SEC before getting into the conference.
Terrence, you made some good points there. We appreciate your call. It is weird to see Missouri as the westernmost school being a part of the Eastern Division, and that's what people said. Hey, you gotta realign the conferences or realign the divisions. You got to do this. You got to do that. And I mean, there's cases to be made when the Columbia visits and the visits from Columbia are far farther than anything else when it comes to that conversation.
I'll agree with the previous call, though. Before we want to say somebody doesn't belong, let's beat them a few times.
Yeah, that needs to happen. It needs to start tomorrow. All right, more of the Morning Rush coming up. Quickity headlines.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Hey, this is Barry Odom. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Pre-order your hot spring spa today during the pre-order holiday hot tub sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. There's no better time of the year to enjoy your hot spring spa than right now. And the entire month of December is your chance to save at Burton Pools and Spas. Pre-order your hot tub right now. Save up to $1,000 off on select models at Burton Pools and Spas. Hot tubs start at $28.95 with 26 different models to choose from. And don't forget about the endless pools. There's 8 swim spa models right now available at Burton Pools and Spas. Enjoy those cold winter days ahead in your new hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. Don't miss the pre-order sale going on right now. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. And see everything available online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They are your source for backyard fun.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Is your Arkansas home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will install measures that can include attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. The services provided through this program are at no cost to you for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from home weatherization improvements, call OG&E today at 800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at kohlergreen.com.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
After falling to the Los Angeles Lakers in the 1982 NBA Finals, the 76ers needed to find the right player to build the ultimate winning team. In September of '82, they acquired restricted free agent Moses Malone. They went on to rack up a 65-17 regular season record and followed that up with a 12-1 postseason record. Malone won the regular season and NBA Finals MVP award.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
Adding a leader you need right when you need them. That's how sports teams get ahead and how your business can too. LinkedIn will match the right talent with your open roles fast. Post a job and you'll get great candidates with the right mix of skills, interest, and experience. So every hire you make is a win for your business. Go to linkedin.com/sports and get $50 off your first job post. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Ho, ho, ho! What do you know, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I've cooked up the perfect way to beat the 2020 blues. This month, you can jingle all the way home in one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. Is your current car less reliable than a reindeer? Is it giving you resting Grinch face? If your old ride has your tinsel in a tangle, dump that sled and get up to $3,100 extra for your trade. Don't get scrooged by past credit mishaps. My elves are working round the clock to help you get approved. approved. And my non-commissioned sales staff will make it easy for you to jingle all the way home in a nicer, newer car. Keep in the car you have, get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done once 67 people dump their sleds only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Franks going to throw it. Tight end. Kern. Touchdown, Arkansas. Blake Kern with his first touchdown reception as a Razorback.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush. The question we've been asking this morning, does Missouri belong in the SEC? Kagan texted in our buddy in Piggott. He's in the deer stand right now, which
So
not
say it
surprised.
quietly.
Yeah, we do have to say it quietly.
Yeah.
He says Missouri belongs to the SEC just as much as Arkansas does because they've beaten us the past 4 years. We need to start turning that around. You know what, Kagan, you're right. And it starts this decade with a win on Saturday, and hopefully they will be able to get that. So
all right.
Got some quick headlines coming up, and then we will also get to something going on in Austin, Texas that I'm sure many of you are curious about.
Yeah, those quick-hitting headlines are brought to you by Baxter Regional Medical Center. They're ready to see you and your family again and do it safely. Safe surgery, safe procedures, safely seeing all patients across all service lines. Baxter Regional is taking extra precautions and every necessary precaution to keep you and your family safe. Hey, their services might look a little different, but their commitment to high-quality, compassionate care remains the same. Welcome back to Baxter Regional. To learn more about every precaution they're doing, go to baxterregional.org. That's baxterregional.org. Welcome back to Baxter Regional Medical Center.
Sam Pittman was asked yesterday about Noah Gatlin. He says he doesn't know if he'll be cleared for Saturday's game against the Tigers, but he did have this to say, that the COVID numbers as of this week so far, now they still had the test yesterday, the results they'll get back at some point this morning have been good. I hesitate to say positive because when everyone hears positive now, it's bad when it comes to COVID-19.
They've been negative, which is positive.
Yes, that's the way to put it. So good news as far as the injury and COVID report is concerned. The Razorbacks basketball game next Tuesday. The time for that has been announced. This will be on the road against Tulsa, their first road test. Now they play Lipscomb tomorrow night. That's going to be at 5 o'clock, so you get a little Arkansas football and a little Arkansas basketball tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, so we had a call earlier wanting to know about our pregame show. We're going to begin at 7 a.m. We'll have an hour worth of Arkansas game day to get you ready for the IMG broadcast as Chuck and Quinn and the whole crew will be ready. Bo and Rick and Gino. Did I miss anybody? I guess I'll just go through the whole roll call like my grandmother used to do. I got them all now.
I think you're right.
I guess Zim will be there to spot. So I got everybody. IMG will begin at 8 a.m. And then between the games, because basketball, as you said, starts at 5 o'clock, so pregame at 4:30, we're going to bridge that time, as we call it. We're going to fill the time between football and basketball. So we'll be with you to talk about the football game and how it shaked out, and then kind of get you ready for the basketball broadcast. So from 7 a.m. till the time basketball's over, we got you covered tomorrow.
And you forgot the most important part of tomorrow's events, the taco eating contest.
Well, I was going to get to that later on. I don't know if that's the most important. It may be to you, but
I have to step up tomorrow. I'm losing my voice. Jeez.
Yeah, you already. I see you're working on excuses already. So, but yes, at halftime, for those in the River Valley that really want to see two grown men, well, one grown man and Ty, embarrass themselves, you can come to Joe's Grill and Cantina and watch a taco eating contest at halftime.
Listen, look at this beer. You telling me I'm not grown? Growing something.
You may be growing something, but I don't know that you're a grown man yet.
It needs to. It's frustrating as having blonde hair, and I love my blonde hair, but it's blonde up. My beard is blonde up. You can grow a beard because your hair is black or brown or whatever, but I cannot up top. So I'm excited about that taco competition, and hopefully I'll put forth my best effort. Whether that's a win, whether it's a loss, we'll find out tomorrow. And if you can't make it out, we will have that live streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, so you can see the Shamu splash zone, if you will. If you don't, or there's
do we need to get plastic sheeting for the floor?
That would be my recommendation. That's up to the Wade and Morgan how much damage.
I'll talk to Joe about it.
That's probably smart when it comes to doing that. So good news for Arkansas when it comes to injuries and COVID, at least from this point. They still get that test back today. I found this interesting. UCF's Mackenzie Milton, who at one point was one of the better quarterbacks in college football, playing for Josh Heupel, former Oklahoma QB, who's the head coach down there, had this excruciating injury, similar to kind of Felipe Franks, but his was more detrimental to his career. Dylan Gabriel comes in and starts playing really well. Mackenzie decides that he is going to transfer out and play somewhere else. And now there are a lot of Arkansas fans looking at him, looking at his skill set, and saying, he might be a good fit in Kendall Briles' offense. Any inclination to go after this guy, even with the loaded QB room, it seems like, next year?
Oh, I think if there is a pretty good idea at this point that Felipe Franks, I don't know what percentage to put on it. I don't think it's 100, but I think it's well north of 50% that he's going to be drafted or have a good shot in an NFL system. I think you are looking at graduate transfers. I think that's just the way of the future, And you look at Heisman Trophy winners, you look at quarterbacks that have taken their teams to college football playoffs. There's a lot of transfer quarterbacks that check those boxes there. So, I'm not saying Arkansas goes and gets a transfer quarterback and now all of a sudden they're in the playoff. We've seen that not work out. But I think transfer quarterbacks, graduate transfer quarterbacks, and transfer portal quarterbacks are just going to be commonplace at Arkansas and other schools.
I think you're going to continue to see the number, like Tommy's referring to, grow, and it's not the transfers.
Because it's a position where only one guy can play. So that means 4 guys aren't happy. So 2 guys are leaving always. I mean, that's unfortunately the nature of the quarterback room is you can only really keep one guy happy. One guy satisfied enough to stay, and 2 guys are PO'd. That's just it's unfortunate. And now that they have a trap door with the transfer portal and graduate transfer rules, what do you do? So you take advantage of the system if you're Kendall Briles.
Or unless you're just a lazy, and you just want to say you're on the football team and say you're a quarterback on the football.
Those are the guys that aren't worried about playing because they know they're not good enough.
Few and far between when it comes to that.
They're clipboard holders.
That's exactly right. All right, last quick headline. It is National Cookie Day, Kami. So coming up, we will get into our favorite cookies. If you want to send in your favorite cookie, 877-377-6963. Make sure to send those in. We're going to talk to Dave Matter this morning, 8 o'clock, about Arkansas, Missouri. Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, joins us in about 30 minutes. Excited to catch up with Clay and get into his keys of the game. But I want to go to Austin, Texas, because right now there are some weird things happening. John Price at footballscoop.com reported that Texas Athletic Director Chris Delicante and their president Garza met with Urban Meyer. Now, Tom Herman hasn't been fired yet. It could happen. We were shocked to see the 2 SEC coaches, Derek Mason, Will Muschamp, have been let go because with the athletic departments losing so much money because of COVID implications, we didn't anticipate many, if any, guys getting fired. Well, it's already happened twice in the SEC. That's a seventh of your conference coaches. Texas is not happy with what has been occurring with their football program. They lose to Iowa State last week at home, where they get beat, I think it was 23-20 in that football game. Tom Herman is in some hot water right now, and I don't know if he's going to survive this season. If he doesn't, Texas fans want some Urban Meyer. Now, Urban is just doing college football work for Fox right now. What are the chances you see him winding up in Austin, Texas? And let me tell you something. That's not good for Arkansas fans if he ends up getting the Texas job.
No, and listen, I said this earlier this week. If South Carolina and Vanderbilt can afford to buy out their coaches and live up to the terms of the contract, Texas certainly can. I just Googled Tom Herman buyout. It said the buyout. Let's read it real quick. Pay him $6 million a year. It has a buyout of more than $15 million if he's let go through 2023. So listen, if South Carolina can afford to take the risk of, if that's correct, what I'm reading, if they can afford $13 million at South Carolina, Texas can afford far more than that, and $15 million is not out of reach if that information is indeed correct. So just doing a quick Google search. So I was just kind of wondering what it would cost Texas to say goodbye. We know A&M's got a much higher tab to say goodbye to a guy like Jimbo Fisher. They may have to pause a little bit more because there's a $7.5 million a year that comes off the contract, but his was fully guaranteed at $75 million when he began. It just reduces by the annual amount every year. So some schools could pull the trigger, some can't. Texas is certainly one that financially, even in the worst of times right now, even when you're not selling a lot of tickets, even when revenues are way down, Texas has got the money.
Bryce quotes in his article on Football Scoop, they're doing everything they can to convince him with talking about Urban Meyer. What's your take on this? 877-377-6963. How bad would it be for Arkansas football if Urban Meyer ended up in Texas? Now, it wouldn't be for long based on his track record, but Texas, I would think, would have a high volume of success relatively quickly if he found himself in Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium.
All right, here's my take on this. They're not going to fire Tom Herman until they know they have Urban Meyer. They're not going to fire Tom Herman until they have someone of the caliber of an Urban Meyer. Because remember, they didn't get Nick Saban, but Tom Herman at that point, coming out of Houston, was as hot a name and as hot a prospect for many jobs as there was in college football. What was that, 4 years ago now? I mean, so he was very coveted, highly coveted as a head coach. Urban Meyer, obviously. Nick Saban on a different shelf. Who else would you put on that shelf right now? Anybody? Dabo, obviously. Dabo.
Those three are in a class of their own.
Right.
Dabo, Urban, Nick.
There would be, there's 130 schools. There's 64 Power 5 schools. There are 63 Power 5 schools that would fire their coach, no matter who it is, to get one of those three guys. I mean, let's just be honest. Arkansas would be one of them, right? So, I mean, many schools across the country would let go of the coach they have now, who's even winning games, to get Saban, Dabo, or
Urban
Meyer.
Yeah.
Trying to go through my list. Who did I not say? Urban Meyer. My brain was not working. So, I mean, those guys are in a class. You don't fire Tom Herman until you have Urban Meyer locked up. That's exactly what
Texas. Is that legal, though?
It's Texas. They don't care if it's legal. I mean, what's illegal about it? Tell me what's illegal about it.
I just remember
if I decided I was going to go a different direction with the show here, I wouldn't fire you until I had somebody else. Right? You wouldn't no more than you wouldn't quit. I understand.
I can't stop the.
Hey, no more than you wouldn't quit this job till you had another one, right? Well, Texas is doing the same thing. They're not going to fire Tom Herman until they've got their guy lined up. That's what this is all about, these rumors, this smoke, this, hey, they're meeting, all of these things. They're not getting rid of Tom Herman until they're trying to get their ducks in a row. Because the other deadline, the other pressing thing is what? Early signing period in recruiting. We've seen how that screws everything up. You got to have your guy lined up so when you fire someone, boom, you're ready to go. And that's the problem right now is the early signing period's got everything messed up.
They play Kansas State tomorrow at 11, and then they take on the Kansas Jayhawks next weekend. Mm-hmm. If they lose to Kansas and Les Miles on the road, Tom Herman will be fired.
I don't disagree with that. So that's why you've got, the timeline of all of this, you still got to remember that the deadline of the early signing period is still out there. And you can't afford, even if you're Texas, to just write off a class. Or you fire your coach now, how many defections and decommitments and all of that are you going to go if you don't have an immediate answer? If you go Tom Herman's fired next day where Urban Meyer's our guy, you're not probably going to lose a lot of guys. So that's what Texas is maybe trying to do here.
What might happen is that Quinn Ewers kid, it's a 5-star quarterback, originally committed to Texas, decommitted, now at Ohio State. He might flip back from Ohio State to Texas. And I wonder, as we bring up Ohio State here, Florida fans were frustrated when Urban left, retired, took the ESPN job for a year, took the Ohio State job because it was just a year, right, from the timeline. I wonder the outcry and the reaction of Ohio State fans if this ends up playing out. Because you got to remember, national championship in 2014.
They're more worried about a vote on getting into the playoff right now.
But they seem to really gravitate towards Ryan Day, who has done a pretty flawless job. And now this is his second year.
He's not Urban Meyer, but it's pretty seamless, right?
Second year. It's kind of like the Lincoln Riley, Bob Stoops transition.
Yeah.
Looks good.
That's a good example.
Now Ryan Day, he hadn't been there as long as Lincoln Riley, and Stoops was longer than Urban Meyer, obviously. But that's the connection I kind of bridge when it comes to that. If Ryan Day, Tommy, continues to win, I don't think they're going to be as angry. But if they start losing recruits to Texas because of Urban Meyer, like the Quinn Ewers kid, that's when I think Ohio State fans could get a little more frustrated, because it's really hard to get mad at a coach that won a national championship in 2014, went to several college football playoff appearances, had a lot of success in Columbus, Ohio. But on the same token, it's football fans which can get mad at anything or as passionate as it gets.
I don't know. Geographically, who does this hurt more? It's probably not Ohio State, because they recruit to I know both programs could recruit nationally. We know that, but they generally recruit different geographic regions of the country. Texas could sign 25 kids a year in the top 100 ESPN group and probably not have to get far out of the state of Texas, right? You can get Texas, maybe a little bit into Louisiana, Oklahoma, whatever. You can get probably 20 kids if you're Texas and not even have to sprint, not even have to breathe hard. I mean, that's just the nature of where they're at. So who does this hurt more? It's not Ohio State. You don't know who it hurts? Hurts A&M. This might be good news for Arkansas in a roundabout way if Urban Meyer ended up landing in Austin, because maybe some of those top kids in the state of Texas that are coming to A&M now, because they're in the SEC, Texas is no good. Jimbo Fisher's just a hotter name than Tom Herman. The Texas program has sucked for a while. Now, if the heat's now back around the Longhorns and they got the man on campus there in Urban Meyer, well, maybe those top 4 or 5 kids that A&M's been getting, they're going to Austin all of a sudden.
It might change.
Brings A&M back down to earth a little bit. So might actually be good news for the Razorbacks in some ways.
Let's welcome in Drew in Fayetteville to the conversation. Drew, you're on the Morning Rush.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Man, it's Football Friday.
It is mainly Friday. Yeah.
That's the key part of this.
TGIF.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Talking a little bit about Texas and recruiting, I've been to Austin 2 separate times. I went in 2010. And then I went about 2 months ago. Now, let me tell you, with this COVID, it has completely changed the dynamic in that town down there. And I think they're going to really struggle to recruit kids. Walking through the area by the university there, COVID's really hit hard. The homeless, it's pretty brutal having to walk by all of those communities to get in and out of your dorm and to the classes. That's one thing about this COVID. I think it's going to help schools like Arkansas or the other schools in Texas. They don't have to deal with that metropolitan that Austin's having to deal with.
Well, Drew, they're not going to put that in the recruiting video. And right now, when you can't bring kids on campus, the ones that aren't, they're not going to put that in their tour. So I hear what you're saying, but right now with the dead period essentially and everybody doing all the recruiting virtually, I don't imagine they're going to put the homeless in the presentation.
Yeah, for years I just always wondered why Texas is kind of taking a step back, and then sitting there thinking about SMU. Yeah, bad coaching, and I also think about Austin. I mean, if I'm a parent outside of COVID, if I'm a parent and I take a visit to there, I'm not 100% for sure if I want my 18, 19-year-old kid in that area.
Well,
Fayetteville's a little bit different than Austin. Kind of same thing with College Station and SMU.
What's
Austin's turning into a different animal.
What's the big street there? Is it 6th Street? It's like Dixon on steroids, isn't it?
It's
a lot of live music. Well, pre-COVID, it was the place to go hang out.
Drew, have you been to 6th Street?
I went in 2010, 2011, and I don't remember much, but yes, I have been there.
That's the way to put it. So
I won't ask you why you don't remember much.
I went 2 years ago. We took a trip to Austin. We did the San Marcos River. We did the like the pools or whatever, and I was really excited because I had never been. But Austin to me was really underwhelming. And you mentioned kind of the 6th Street, the atmosphere. There's some weird crap that goes on there. And I know that, like, there's pockets within Fayetteville that there's the odd duck or two that's sitting by the street corner. But it's like that whole. I mean, they got strippers dancing in the windows and stuff. It is and I say that as a
there's
25,
no 18-year-old kids that like that.
But it's like gross. It's you know how like Bourbon Street is cool, right? But it smells and it's like gross to some extent.
Your second part's more right.
You don't want to do Bourbon Street every weekend. You want to do Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street's like Vegas. About 3 days and I'm ready for my return flight.
You want to do
home.
like once or twice a year. Like I could be easily convinced to go to Dixon Street every weekend after COVID is done. But
because you can go home at the end of the night.
Exactly. But I didn't feel that way about 6th Street. And listen, I'm also an Arkansan through and through, so maybe I'm going in with the Razorback tinted glasses. But Drew, to your point, I was not as impressed. There's other college towns and other cities, big time metropolitan areas that I thought were far superior than Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I mean, as you're talking about Bourbon Street, that's literally what it feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a university, like right in the middle of, of a metro. It's metropolitan now. And with the COVID, 6th Street, whenever we went, there was nothing. They weren't even open. There wasn't anything going on. So I don't know how all of this is going to affect that. That's why I'm saying it's taking a really hard hit with COVID.
It's affecting a lot of people.
And I, being here, Fayetteville, Northwest Arkansas, I've been very thankful over the past 9 months to be in an area like this. I couldn't imagine being in an area like that with all of this going on. It really, really changes everything. And as a parent or even as a kid walking around in there, I'd be like, man, I'd much rather go, to these other places. I don't feel like I'm in the middle of the city every time I walk around.
Mm-hmm.
Some kids might be used to it, but like me, it'd be a cultural shock.
Drew, we appreciate your call.
It's a good call.
And I think one of the unique things about Fayetteville is if you want the kind of bigger city type feel, you got Bentonville, you got Rogers with it continuously expanding and growing. But Fayetteville is kind of homey to an extent, and it feels like that.
There's a world of difference between Fayetteville and Bentonville Rogers.
Yeah, and you can have a little bit of both. Like if you want to get drunk, you can go to Dixon Street. If you want to just hang out, there's plenty of places.
You want to go to Top Golf, you go to Rogers.
Exactly. I mean, there's plenty of Northwest Arkansas, as it continues to grow with Walmart, J.B. Hunt, Tyson, that is only going to help you not only with different executives coming and as it continued the population that makes your high school sports up there better, but it's also just more tractable if you're a recruit or a high school athlete and you're seeing all this expansion. It's like, hey, I have this Fayetteville area, which is awesome, but if I also want this kind of other feel, it's 20, 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
And that's like, we don't talk about that enough when it comes to recruiting young men and young women, when it comes to just the outside of the athletic standpoint.
But make no mistake, when circling back to where we began the conversation with Urban Meyer, Austin, all of that. If he lands in Austin, and that's a big if, he doesn't have the job. They don't even have an opening right now. But if he lands there, as the reports are suggesting, he'll have no trouble getting the top 25, or 25 of the top 50 kids in that state coming to Austin, Texas.
Tremendous recruiter, no doubt about it.
Won't be any problem. Brought to you by Standard Materials Group. They have immediate openings right now. They're looking for 12 or 15 new drivers to join their fleet right now at Standard Materials Group for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. You have a CDL license without an automatic restriction. You want to be home every night. You want to work with a company that offers great pay, great benefits, and a great team environment. Apply today, and you can do it online, jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Coming up in the program, we'll talk with Clay Henry, the publisher of Augs Illustrated. Hour 2 on the way.
Hi, this is Jan. Thanks for calling Toyota.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is. We've got great year-end deals on Camry, RAV4, Tundra, Highlander, and more. Do you hear that?
That would be my mom. I'm home for the holidays, and apparently she's still eavesdropping on my calls like she used to.
Oh, what was that again about year-end deals?
Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Okay. And did I mention every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan? It's happening again.
Dad, hang up the phone.
Toyotathon is on now. Come in today. Tell your mom.
During Toyotathon, qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 60 months or a total bonus of $3,000 on a new 2021 Toyota Tundra Special Edition. Toyota, let's go places. Toyota Care covers normal factory scheduled service for 2 years and 25,000 miles, whichever occurs first. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and N1421.
Build your business with 100% fiber, internet, voice, and cloud services from Ritter Communications. Whether you're a one-man woodworking shop who needs fast, reliable internet complete with TV service, or you're a construction enterprise needing managed voice and networking to connect your multiple sites, our helpful, Arkansas-based team will create a custom solution for you. Visit RitterBusiness.com or give them a call at 888-336-4249 to learn more.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch Contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch Contest button. Give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
Every day, 22 of our heroes take their own life. The effects of military service can be too much.
I'll cover you. I'll cover you. Let's move.
You were ready to fight for them in war.
I got you. I got you.
Are you ready to fight for them now? If you know a veteran that could use a little help, call 1-800-542-1031 today.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas. ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly to mostly sunny sky today. Our high this afternoon in the upper 40s to lower 50s. Will stay clear tonight. An overnight low near 30. Saturday, lots of sun. Our high in the low 50s north, upper 50s south. And then Sunday, highs in the upper 40s north, mid 50s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Rhodes Chevrolet. Find new roads. Van Buren, Arkansas.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
What's up, Mizzou?
Tiger Nation, baby.
Hey, Tanner, you got something for us?
Yeah, man, we help me freestyle this song. No problem, man. One take max.
You think we can do it once?
Easy.
You know the worst thing about Arkansas?
What's that?
It's got Kansas in it.
No, we're not knocking on the door. We're busting in, and we ain't waiting anymore to be champions. Gotta win, gotta fight, yeah. This is Missouri, we ain't taking our time. Oh, we in a hurry. Oh, screw red and blue. We are Mizzou, we are Mizzou.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
hitthatline.com. There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but they but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong?
Lloyd! The Morning Rush starts right now.
We've asked the question this morning on social media. Does Missouri fit in the SEC, in the Southeastern Conference? And many of you replied yes. Many of you replied no, based on your opinions. What is your opinion this morning? 877-377-6963. We will get Clay Henry's opinion, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, coming up in just a sec here on the Morning Rush.
Hey, we are brought to you this morning in part by Burton Pools and Spas. If you've been thinking at all about a hot tub and you are trying to figure out which brand to go with, which company to go with, how to get it done, let me just tell you, Burton Pools and Spas is the place. They got hot spring spas, the best constructed, the best built, the most energy efficient, the most models to choose from, even saltwater models. And right now, if you make your purchase in December, you can pre-order. And right now, they've got some models in stock. They got some, if you want precise models exactly the way you want them, they can get them ordered today and save you some money and have them on the way in a matter of weeks. So you need to get in and talk to the pros at Burton Pools and Spas about your hot spring spa. It is hot tub weather, and it is the time. So get in the month of December. Save some money right now at Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale and in Fort Smith, or look online first at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, they are your source for backyard fun.
And I'll relay this question to Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated. Clay, Missouri came in initially to the Southeastern Conference in year number 2 and 3 and went to the SEC championship in the East. So they started out having success. But from a geographical standpoint, from a just Southern standpoint, from a football standpoint, do you think Missouri is a good fit in the Southeastern Conference?
Well, if you go to that campus and you spend any time there, you don't get the same feel that you get in an SEC campus, state, whatever. They don't feel like a Southern state. They look like a Big Ten school, and they, or a Big 8 school, or whatever you want to call it. They didn't look like a Big 12 school because they don't look like anything that's in Oklahoma or Texas. They just their people are, they're not Southern, and they're not. So in that respect, I didn't understand it at all. It kind of blindsided me. Missouri, and they're going to go to the Big Ten, and for whatever reason, it didn't fit in the Big Ten. I'm talking about their thoughts didn't fit, or maybe the Big Ten didn't want them. But they seem more like Illinois, Indiana, those schools. But the great appeal for them in the SEC is that that they saw the money, and without question the SEC saw the TV markets of St. Louis and Kansas City. So in that respect, it was a fit, that it brought something to the SEC, and that they saw that they were going to benefit with the money. I mean, you can see the expansions that are going on their campus now, the basketball arena, the new football facility. They were way behind in facilities, and in that way they fit in the Big Ten because everything is ugly and old in the Big Ten. Yeah. But they're coming around, and now they're still in a bind. Their enrollment has really fallen. The racial indifference in their state, the problems that were in St. Louis, and then some of the issues that started on their campus have really affected fundraising and their endowment and some other things. So we'll see, how they kind of trudge along, and their ability to pay a lot for a coach was impacted for that reason. You look at what Barry Odom faced in recruiting there, was affected by the things that I just mentioned. Yeah. So it's not an easy fix for them at Missouri, but I give them credit. Their football program has always been solid. It was solid in the Big 8, but not upper echelon. I mean, they were. I did an interview, and it's online now, with Mark Smith, who was, the middle linebacker on the '95 team that won the SEC championship, and he's from Webb City, Missouri, and he was recruited by Missouri. He's in the Missouri State Hall of Fame. He was inducted this year, or selected. They still haven't had the ceremony because of COVID. And so he understands Missouri, and he accurately portrayed kind of the situation of the game, Arkansas and Missouri. He said the schools and the teams are really similar, that neither school is going to load up on 5 stars, and that coaching really matters at both schools, and you see that on the field. And that both teams are playing with 3 stars and a sprinkling of 4s, and that Missouri's been able to be more. He didn't say this, but Missouri's been more effective doing that under Pinkel and Odom than Arkansas has under Bielema and Morris. Now, I think we can see that the worm has turned as far as where Arkansas is going to be with Sam Pittman. Mm-hmm. But that's what I see with Missouri and how it relates to Arkansas.
Let's go to the phone lines real quick. Welcome in Rod, who's in Fort Smith. Rod, you got about a minute and a half, man. Go ahead.
Missouri, Southeast Conference. Well, they're not South. They're above the Mason-Dixon line. They're not East. They're really not anything. But, no, they're not Southeast Conference, and they don't act like it. And, seriously, I mean, no, I don't think so. Texas, yeah. Oklahoma would be close call, but not Missouri, guys.
I think Oklahoma State, or Texas, those three, and I know that some people would be vehemently against bringing Texas in the fold. But, Rod, I think those schools feel more Southern to me than Missouri does. And maybe it's just the feel itself.
Well, they're above the Mason-Dixon line. It's not even South.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Rod, appreciate the call. It feels like a Midwest. Clay, you were talking about Big Ten, like Midwest, Northern school, just kind of that type of feel, which I know isn't everything. I don't know if Vanderbilt necessarily feels like an SEC school, but they present things to like outside, and I'll ask this because Tommy's talked about the television. I've talked about the television. You have as well. Outside of the television, what does Missouri bringing to you? And we mentioned academics, but you're covered in that. Vanderbilt's got you. And we always joke you only need like one school that covers that portion.
I don't think you needed to look past television because you got to remember.
No, that's all. That's all that matters anymore, Ty.
It's all that matters.
You don't. It is what matters, and it's all that matters. And all the other things that you want to make matter are not important in the grand scheme anymore. And if you can bring two major TV markets to the table, then that's what they want.
Especially at a time when the SEC network was coming into fruition and distribution on that, footprint on that matters more than anything else, because when you get $1.50, $2, whatever it is per subscriber, markets like St. Louis and Kansas City and Springfield and that whole area that signed up for the SEC network because you bring them in Texas because of A&M, that's why you selected them. Plus, it makes all your other contracts more valuable.
That's a great point. Great point. All right, coming up in the program, we will talk a little bit about Clay's keys to the game, which he wrote in whole up on the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I absolutely love your show. I can't listen to anything else on the drive to work in the morning other than the Morning Rush.
The Powerball jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $200 million. So, what would you do if you won?
Oh, I would throw a joyous party, probably celebrate with the worst dance moves anybody's ever seen before.
I would spoil my little brothers.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Powerball jackpot of more than $200 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Christmas time is here, and it's time to see the folks at the Breen RV Center in Van Buren. Go check out the new inventory arriving weekly so you can make your Christmas time extra special this year by purchasing your dream trailer. The only dealer that gives you maintenance for life for free. Breen RV can service all RV makes and models. Give them a call at 262-2418 or check them out online at BreenRV.com. Mention you heard this on ESPN Arkansas and get an extra $500 cash back when you buy a new or used RV. Merry Christmas from Breeden RV.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Deer hunters, it's prime time, and the Deer Woods are the place to be. Jelco Outdoors has all the supplies and gear to make your hunt one to remember. Men's, women's, and children's boots and clothing to keep you warm and dry. Tree stands, scents, calls, safety vest, firearms, archery. Jelco has it all for you. Best of luck to all hunters. Stay safe, and remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
This is Randy Magnus, mortgage loan manager with Arvest Bank in Fort Smith. Have you checked your mortgage rate lately? A lot of times people forget about the rate after their loan is closed. Your friends at Arvest Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan. With Arvest competitive rates, you might be able to lower your monthly payment, shorten the term of your loan, or both. Arvest services 99% of the loans that originate, so most of the time you can deal with any of our local branches for all your mortgage needs. Please give us a call at 479-573-1127 or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for a Fort Smith loan officer. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone service to your home. Get amazingly fast fiber internet as low as $49.95 per month. TV packages start at $32.95. Fiber phone service starts at $29.95. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out if we're installing in your area. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Hey, this is Ted with Ed Walker's Drive-In. For more than 70 years, Ed Walker's has been the place to go for the best French dips and hand-patted hamburgers in town. Blue Plate specials served Monday through Friday, and we're still the home of Fort Smith's only 5-pound hamburger. We're open 10 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. Call ahead for pickup, 783-3352. At Walker's Drive-In, 1500 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, where the legend lives on.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
ESPN 95.3.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
He's going for it all. He's got a receiver in the end zone. It is caught by Arkansas. London Crawford comes down with the ball.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
What are the keys to the Missouri game, in your opinion? Get those in 877-377-6963. Tommy will tell you his, I'll tell you mine, and then Clay will go to Clay's article again, which you can read on Whole Hawk Sports.
Scoring
Clay
more points.
Yeah, that's going to be the retort that some people text in or call in, but we'll get to those coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Wills RV in Northwest Arkansas. Get out and explore this fall, and winter months ahead are some great camping months, or great months to go even further south and get some warmer weather. They have the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping, like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wills RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wills RV.
Clay, I really liked your first kind of what you pointed to example. You said the fight. And Arkansas, frankly, in this past decade, when they've taken on the Missouri Tigers, has not wanted this game as bad as Missouri has. Arkansas, under Sam Pittman, needs to start a new tradition. Whether you think it's a rivalry or not as a fan, the players need to treat this game very seriously. They need to put in that much more effort to beat Mizzou. And I think the fight that you're referring to is a perfect depiction of what Arkansas should put on the field tomorrow against the Tigers.
Yeah, it goes back to fundamental, what I call the essence of football. Who's better in the offensive and defensive line? And that's been Missouri. And if you are good in the offensive line, the defensive line, you win the fight. I mean, it is that simple, guys.
That's where the fight's at.
It is where the big guys duke it out. And if you watch it, I mean, they're swinging rights and lefts and forearm shivers, and I watched a drill that
that's
Ken
where the
Stevens
beer bottles and the bar stools are thrown.
No question. And let's be honest, football is not for the faint of heart. No. I mean, it is. We want to draw up plays, and we play video games, and it's like you push this button, and you run this play, and it's not really football. That is video games. But I watched a drill, and Ken Stevens, he had it at UCA, and everybody thought he was a great play caller, and they lined up man against man, and they just hit each other. And when I say hit it, they threw forearm shivers, and every August they'd get about 4 broken arms from running that drill, but they would figure out who the football players were, and they won the hitting battle on the field. And when you hear we out hit the other team, that's what they're talking about. I mean, you come out of your stance and you hit the other guy. It might be with your shoulders, it might be with your forearms, it might be, and then they grab hold of each other, and the guy that's the strongest, he wins. Every once in a while, they call holding.
Yeah.
But it's now Tommy's there and he sees it. When you're refereeing, Tommy, it is vicious stuff, isn't it?
It is. And anymore with these teams, particularly as the offenses get faster and the ball comes out of the quarterback's hands quicker, and these receiver screens, bubble screen, you're not going to get holding calls very often because there's not an opportunity to hold. So it's very fast. So what happens in there in this fight you're talking about? It's a quick fight anymore, but they're important. And then those moments when you run the ball in the middle, those are the battles that probably matter the most on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3.
Yeah, if you go back and you see, well, what happened in the Bielema time? They started losing the fight. I mean, his first year they didn't. I can remember walking off the practice field. It was me, Bo Madley, and Brett, and we were just talking. It was a night practice. I don't remember why they did it, but they had a night practice, and it was before the second year. And they were like, well, how's your team going to do? And he says, well, I know one thing. What we did last spring and what we've done in 3 scrimmages this fall, we will take the fight to the other team. We are physical now. And they started to play better. But that was all it was. They hadn't gotten any better players. And then something happened. Yeah, then something happened towards the end of his time. And the first time I noticed it was at Missouri when they were up 17 points in the third quarter, and they had a series of 3rd and 1s, and they lost yardage on every one of those plays. And then the same thing happened against Virginia Tech in the bowl game. They got punked. I mean, It was just a physical. They become soft for whatever reason, and I don't know if Brett thought that, okay, we're there, we're going to be physical. Well, the only way you stay physical is that you work every day, and that's what Sam Pittman knows as an offensive line coach.
Well, some people would say, Clay, Sam Pittman leaving Brett Bielema's program was the voice of toughness. He was the guy that was the leader of toughness in those trenches you're talking about, and when his voice was no longer there, the guys that were, Kurt, he just couldn't bring it. It just did not work, and a lot of people would point directly to that as all that softness you're talking about coming in was when Sam left.
How is Northwestern having success with him as the offensive line? I mean, that is just
maybe I don't know.
Change the scenery, I guess. Sometimes that's what it takes.
Better
but
fit
that
for him.
was so because Clay, you've spoken. I remember when I would sit with you during these press conferences, and you would tell me the different intricacies within the football team, and you kept coming back to Sam Pittman this, Sam Pittman that, and then as you're discussing here this very morning, how quickly that changed. It's wild that sometimes one assistant or 2 assistant coach, when you lose them and you think the head coach is like the main reason that the ship is being spearheaded, and then in reality, it's not always that case.
Yeah, and it's not just the way you practice; it's the way you recruit and who you recruit. And I think that Sam would probably tell you that they slipped a little bit in recruiting, his last year there, and then that was kind of dumped on Brett. So it's all there. It's a huge picture, and you think, all right, well, Sam's back. He's got these Arkansas offensive linemen. He's got his hand-picked offensive line coach Brad Davis, who was part of the reason Missouri won the fight the last couple of years. He's coaching Missouri's offense. Well, now they got to get some players.
Yeah.
They've got to get bigger guys to win the fight. Yeah. And you saw with the defensive line, that they've got to get some bigger guys there too. You got Jonathan Marshall, but the rest of them are, they're not big guys. So yeah, it is a complex deal. I love football. It's the ultimate team game. There's 22 guys out there, and on every play. And if there is a weak spot anywhere, it will show up on the field. But if you're not good in the trenches, the rest of it doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Just got a text here from former Arkansas offensive lineman Dr. Steve Heim, who's here in Fort Smith, and he says you gotta love to hit. Like, you have to have, and that's what, like,
crave contact.
If you look at Arkansas football, we always talk about, salty defense or salty offense or coach that was inspired. Watch those 2002, 2006, 1998 teams. Those are just the ones in recent memory that I can attest to. Watch how physical they were. Go back for those of you that were a part of it. Go back in your memory tank and remember what it was like to watch a Frank Broyles, Lou Holtz, Ken Hatfield coach football team, and the physicality that they brought day in, day out. Now, you might lose the football game, but you were dang sure going to deliver multiple blows to the other team. Sometimes you're going to be out-talented. That just happens sometimes with Arkansas. But you sure weren't going to give less effort than the opposing team. And at one point in time, you felt like that was on the up and up with Brett Bielema. And then Pittman left, and it just and it wasn't just Pittman. They had other assistant coaches that departed, and it just completely collapsed. You never saw anything under Chad Morris. That was one of the more underrated things about Bobby Petrino's coaching style, is the toughness that they had. Like, I remember in the 2010 LSU game in Little Rock, where LSU was desperately trying to get the ball back away from Arkansas, and they just ran it down the throat with Niall Davis, and they could not do anything to stop it. I remember a crackback block that I think Alvin Bailey threw that just put an LSU defensive lineman in the ground. That is vivid imagery of what this offensive line and defensive line, what you're hoping it will eventually get back to.
Yeah, the sequence that you're talking about against LSU, and you mentioned what everybody always mentioned, they ran it down the throat with Niall Davis. Nope, they lined up with great offensive tackles and whipped them. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered who they handed the ball to. They were getting 5 yards. Now, it didn't matter if it was Niall Davis, and I know that's not what you meant, but it was true. They just said, "Boys, we're gonna take your manhood right here."
They were helpless.
They did it.
They were helpless.
Yeah. I mean, in football, but it comes down to it. You go back through the years, and I can tell you if Arkansas had it or they didn't. And then if you go watch a practice, you can see it in practice. The Arkansas practices, Wilson Matthews in the early 60s ran the defense. He wasn't ever defensive coordinator, but he was running the defense. And in warm-ups, they had what they called the fit drill. Have you ever heard of this, Tommy? The fit drill?
I've heard you tell the story before. I don't know if Ty has.
But it is, he'd blow the whistle, and for a minute, everybody would turn to the man next to you, and you would have a fit. And you could do anything you wanted. I mean, it was anything you wanted. People, yeah. You couldn't kick them between the, below the waist. That's the only thing that would get you in trouble. But if you wanted to punch the guy, if you wanted to pick him up and body slam him, I mean, if it was WWE, and it was supposed to be for a minute, but he might go for 5 minutes, and then they would find out, who was the toughest guy on the team.
You know what that reminds me of, Clay? You remember this, and this is not Burt Reynolds' Longest Yard, but the newer, lesser version of the Longest Yard with Adam Sandler. I still haven't seen the old one. I need to see it.
You need to see the old one.
If you remember the opening scene when they're playing the guards and they kick the ball and everyone just takes everyone.
It was a fight. It's a fight.
And the guy takes off the opening kickoff for a touchdown, but every guard is just getting mutilated.
They're out there. It's like, man, we've been waiting for this for a long time. But yeah, one of the old time players would tell me, he says, "Yeah, the fit drill. You made sure who you were standing beside when you ran onto the field."
Oh man!
Yeah, it's like I want to make sure I'm not standing next to Lloyd Phillips.
That's it.
I'm not going to be there.
That's a great story. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Go out to Russellville, land of the Cyclones. Welcome in our buddy Jared. Jared, you're on the Morning Rush.
Hey, good morning, guys. I just want to jump in on the conversation about the Missouri and then also I think and the offensive line and defensive line, just if we get back to where we were with Pittman the first time he was here, on the front on both sides of the ball, I think that not only will we be a good team year in and year out, but I think that we will be able to not only control the line of scrimmage, but we'll be able to do what we want to. This year, it's nice to see Jonathan Marshall, but you have to have 3 or 4 Jonathan Marshalls to compete in the SEC. It's just the way it is. If you don't have depth at defensive line, you're really messed up when it comes to that, and that showed big time whenever they made us play the LSU game when we probably shouldn't have. But also, when it comes to Missouri, I think. I mean, they're there now. They're obviously not going to leave because you don't leave the SEC because that's where you get the most money from, obviously. But I don't think they should be in the SEC. But with them being there, I do think there should be a realignment with the SEC. I think people are too up in the air about the Tennessee-Alabama game. I think the Alabama state should be divided. Auburn should be in the East. Alabama should be in the West, and everything from that point forward, and then like Tennessee and Vanderbilt should be in the East as well, and everything on the West side of that should be the West teams like A&M, LSU, Arkansas, Missouri, and kind of go from there, and the Mississippi schools in Alabama. That should be the West. I think there should be some realignment there, in my opinion, because you really do have a heavy West right now. If you did that, sliding Auburn's not always the best of team, but that would kind of shift the power a little bit, make it more even, in my opinion. But I'll hear what you have to say about that. I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you, guys.
Well, Jared, I'm all for and I wonder, this is kind of contingent on how long Nick Saban is there. I'm cool with avoiding Alabama if you want to move them to the SEC East, where you don't have to play Nick Saban's Crimson Tide every year. This has been a conversation, realignment, not only within the conferences as a whole, but specifically within the divisions of the SEC. I just don't see it happening, right?
Yeah, because they still want Alabama to play Tennessee. They still have to have the Iron Bowl.
There's
so many games of tradition that have happened for decades that are the foundation. We come back to TV. They are the foundation of what make your TV contracts valuable. They're what make your league attractive. And you can't take away games that now may decide your divisions or may decide who goes to the SEC championship game, 3 out of 5 years. And that's what the Iron Bowl is. Well, you take that game out of a divisional game, and Clay, it just loses its luster. It just does. So, I mean,
there's something happening. I mean, I feel a little bit of kind of a groundswell that something's going to happen, with major college football. The FBS is about to split off. Just football is about to split off from the NCAA. The Knight Commission has said that's what ought to happen. NCAA really would like for it to happen. They just want basketball. They just want the basketball tournament and the other and run the other sports. They don't make money on
football anyway.
Yeah, they don't. It's a pain in the butt for them to go chase down recruiting violations at these schools. They want y'all do it yourself, and I think that the expansion, when that does happen, I think that you'll see the Big 12 fall apart. It's a tenuous bind that holds them together anyway. I mean, it's just barely. I mean, and Texas has got that thing so screwed up. The Longhorn Network is bad business, and everybody knows it. Even Texas knows it. But I think that you'll see Oklahoma State, maybe Texas, maybe Baylor. I don't know. The politics in Texas makes it hard to leave Baylor out of anything. But I think that you potentially could see a 16-team league with pods, in the SEC. So I think something's going to happen, and realignment is probably inevitable.
Let's face it, there's a world of difference financially between Arkansas and Arkansas State, and Arkansas is not at the top realm of finances. There's a big difference in Power 5 football and the other 60 some odd schools that are the bottom half of the group of 5 schools that make up the 130 FBS schools. I agree with you. At some point, there needs to be a 4th division, a separate division, however you want, for football, and it only makes sense. And this is a conversation we've been having on and off on this show for more than a decade. And I remember having this very conversation on the air with the late Mike Slive, then great commissioner of the SEC, and he scoffed at the idea then because we're going to make it work with what we got, and there wasn't really an appetite for it a decade ago. But that's exactly because financially
times have changed.
I mean, financially, it's not even an even playing field, and you want to levelize the playing field, and you want to be able to kind of run your own show, have your own rules, set your own standards. That's how you do it. You take the 64 or 5 or whatever it is with Notre Dame, and however you fix them, and you go at it with 4 or 5 conferences. And I'm with you. I think it'll be like 4 conferences with 16 teams each, and that's the way it'll be.
Yeah, I think one thing that probably won't happen, I always envisioned that Alabama and Auburn will be in the same division.
I agree with you.
It's now, I think Auburn, Gus and some others would like that. I mean, there's some malcontents with that as far as Auburn, but the rank and file Auburn people is like, we're not running from Alabama. We're staying right here and we're going to beat them. But they won't until Nick Saban's gone. I'm here to tell them that ain't going to happen. He's
but they've
and he
had
looks
as much
like
success against him as anybody.
Yeah, and COVID didn't get him. I don't think anything else is going to get him.
Because Gus is one. And by the way, speaking of that, Clay, he is reinstated for their game against the LSU Tigers.
That's what I'm saying. COVID didn't get him, so he's flying high.
Yeah. And you mentioned kind of that dynamic, and I'll give Gus credit because he needs to deserve credit. Beat him as the OC in 2010, beat him first year as head coach in 2013, beat him with Jarrett Stidham, and then they beat him with Bo Nix. He has 3 wins.
Yeah.
That's 3 wins. So Hugh Freeze had 2. I think, if I remember, and Urban might have 3.
Kevin Sumlin had 1.
I think Urban has 2 or 3. I want to say that's like the most wins against Nick Saban, like in terms of conference-to-conference coach.
Auburn's had as much success against Alabama
and
as
that's
anybody
in their
else.
own state,
right.
too. You're
LSU hasn't. Auburn's had.
You guys are right, but don't tell them that because they don't want to hear it.
And that's
they don't want to hear it. That is the reality is that's not enough.
But listen, everybody can talk about the West is so much better than the East. It is for now, but I remember in the 90s when Arkansas came into the SEC, the West paled in comparison to the East.
All right, guys, when
Georgia
you guys,
and Tennessee, and mainly it's Florida and Tennessee, and then Georgia, but the East dominated the West in the 90s and the early 2000s. So
when you go
this will cycle around.
When you guys go get an ice cream cone, do you just get 1 scoop?
Well, yes, because that's all I need. But I want to. But I don't need any. But yes.
Well,
let me ask
you,
I can't handle.
Do your kids just get 1 scoop?
I get a
do your
milkshake.
Kids just get 1 scoop?
I'm a milkshake guy.
Yes, because if I got 2, it'd be all over the back of my car.
Yeah, but if you have your druthers, you'd have more than 1 scoop, right?
Gum right, I would.
Those Auburn people want more than 1 scoop of Alabama. Or 2 scoop. They want the whole bowl, and they're not getting it right now.
Right. Now
they got no scoops.
In a bowl, it's more than 1 scoop.
Yep.
If it's in the car at Brahms, I can't.
I rest my case.
Yep. You're exactly right, though. You're exactly right.
Now you got me thinking about ice cream, Clay. It is, and by the way,
it's a peanut butter cup.
Yeah, it is National Cookie Day. That's a conversation we're going to save probably.
You can have ice cream with your cookies.
Ooh,
exactly. Yeah, like you're saying, you can do a combo.
Cookies and cream ice cream.
So we will save that conversation towards the end of the show. What your favorite cookie is here on the Morning Rush, and food-wise, and now I'm really, really hungry.
You can't eat too many cookies today. You got to eat tacos tomorrow.
I know. Well, here's the thing. I
got to get to that too.
I've debated if I'm going to eat tonight. I'm gonna work out and run tomorrow just so I'm like nice and hungry. But I've debated if I'm going to eat dinner tonight or not.
It should be
because
fun.
of the elite competition about
the elite competition. This should be fun tomorrow. We'll talk about the taco eating contest at Joe's Grill coming up. Hey, we're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort. I know a lot of people are changing plans, putting plans on hold, but you'd still like to get out. We got cabin fever. Like to get out and do something right now. Where do you go? You go to Gaston's. Why? Because all of their accommodations are private and individual. They have 80 cabins and lodges right there on the property that are all individual and can suit any kind of size group, whether it's 2 of you, 4 of you, 14 of you. But so whatever your family arrangement, family situation is, they can accommodate you and your group. So don't worry about social distancing or trying to separate yourself from groups. And listen, there's no activity that can get you one with nature and away from everyone else more than fishing on the White River at Gaston's White River Resort. Make a reservation today, 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Hey, this is former Razorback Jake Beckett, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Pre-order your holiday hot tub today at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. You can pre-order right now and save up to $1,000 off on select models at Burton Pools and Spas. Hot tubs start at $28.95 with 26 models to choose from. Don't forget about endless pools with 8 swim spa models to choose from. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies, Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch Contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch Contest button, give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Randall Ford is excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7. RandallFord.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
This year's Value Bonanza sales event at Alma Tractor and Alma gives you more ways to save. Choose 0% financing, cashback, and more on select New Holland tractors, hay and forage products, and material handling equipment. These offers end December 31st, so make the trip to Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma today. You get more choices and more savings when you buy during Value Bonanza.
For commercial use only, customer participation subject to credit qualification with CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Evans Body Shop would like to take a moment to say thank you to our community, friends, family, and crew. Thank you for voting us the best independent body shop in the River Valley for the 3rd year in a row. Thank you for supporting us and trusting us with your vehicles for the last 14 years. Thank you for your referrals and reviews that sing our praises. We truly appreciate each and every one of you that have helped build our business and excellent reputation. From our family at Evans Body Shop to yours, have a very Merry Christmas and a blessed holiday season.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Divorce is never easy. Many times problems continue to arise long after the divorce is over. If you're dealing with a high conflict custody or visitation issue, you need an attorney that handles those specific type of cases. Call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partners for immediate assistance with your situation. Kevin Hickey Law Partners, able to handle high conflict custody cases all over the state of Arkansas and other states. Check out kevinhickeylaw.com or call 479-434-2414 in Fort Smith and 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Howard in the pocket, throws it up over the top, right on the button, watch out, a breakaway, Colby Hamilton! 10-5, can you believe it?
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush. Going to get into our Fence Man Friday picks here coming up as we welcome in Sean, as we always do on the Friday on the Fence Man. Sean, once again, you find yourself in the lead. Another Friday, man, ahead by 3 points.
Hey, I'm going to hold on to it.
Keep it going. You've got 26 points. Clay has 23, and Tommy and I are knotted up at 19th. Let's go back and recap our picks from last week. Sean, you and Clay were correct with the Iowa State pick. Tommy and I both thought Texas would pull it out, and now it looks like Tom Herman might not be in the great city of Austin that much longer. And I say great city, Clay is going to rip me for saying great city. So
I think it's a great city. I mean, I think 6th Street is a marvelous place, but you go just a few yards away, and I would enjoy seeing one of those forest fires like consume sections of Colorado, just kind of wipe out that 40 acres there. So, but the city itself is great.
There you go. Next game we picked, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish went down to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and got the win. Sean, you and Clay both got that correct. Next game we did, LSU traveling to Texas A&M. While A&M did win the game, they did not cover. Tommy, you were the only one that picked that correctly. You picked the LSU Tigers to not win, but you did have them covering.
Did I get a bonus point for that?
No, you did not. And then Auburn at Alabama. Sean, both you and I picked Alabama to crush Auburn, which they did. So, again, Sean leads the way with 26 points. Clay's at 23, and Tommy and I are both at 19th. It's time to get into go ahead, Clay.
I picked Auburn to cover, and they were 7 points off. So it was really closer than you think. They had 24 points. That's what I saw in that game. But go ahead. I lose. I didn't get it. Yeah.
Fenceman Friday Picks. Call the Fenceman for all kinds of fences, controlled access, and custom iron projects. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. We ain't afraid of no work.
Going to get into a couple top 25 matchups this weekend before we pick the SEC games. I want to start with Indiana and Tom Allen, potentially the coach of the year in college football, traveling to Madison to take on Paul Chryst and the Wisconsin Badgers. I'll start with this one. Wisconsin, it was very odd. And by the way, Wisconsin is favored by 14.5 points in this one. It was weird to see Wisconsin lose to Northwestern. I thought Northwestern, like many other college football analysts, would get handed in that football game. And yet they came out. Give credit to Pat Fitzgerald and company. They came out and gave it to the Badgers. I think Wisconsin's going to win this game pretty handily. I'm taking Wisconsin to cover the 14.5-point spread. Where are you going on this?
I'll take Wisconsin as well.
Clay, are you going Scotty or are you going Indiana?
Indiana, don't they lose Penix for the year? And that's a big deal with this game.
Yeah, and was that the Ohio State game that he's out for the year, if I remember that?
I think you just got to pick Wisconsin. I don't even know why you got this game on the board.
He tore.
We're all going to pick Wisconsin.
He tore his
Sean,
ACL.
go ahead. Sean, go ahead. And pick
I'm going to
Wisconsin.
protect my lead, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick Wisconsin. So it is one of the 2 top 25 matchups. That's why.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going.
know. I'm just having fun. Don't worry.
All right, so let me ask you this. So we're those are more high profile. Wisconsin's the high profile team. These are 2 teams that have really not necessarily come out of the ashes, but kind of been the underdogs this season. The BYU Cougars taking on Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
Now Liberty wasn't able to play this weekend, so they rescheduled this game, or they got this game ready to be in place. This is another 2 Coach of the Year candidates that it's going to be a really fun matchup, and it's the is it the Chanticleers? How do you say it?
I think you got it right
Did
there.
I say it right?
Yeah, it's
Clay,
not the chandeliers. I know that.
Clay, I'll let you start. Are you going?
I call them pirates. They got the little fluffy hats.
Okay.
But a pirate would never wear a fluffy hat, but that's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with Coastal Carolina. They have a great quarterback.
Okay. Tommy?
I guess BYU does too, but I like Coastal Carolina.
What's the line again?
The line for this football game is BYU -10. See, Clay's getting 10 points for picking Coastal.
Yeah, give me Coastal. That's a lot of points.
This one's tough. I think Zach Wilson
And it's at Coastal.
Yeah, that is true. I'm going to take Zach Wilson and BYU in this one. This has been a guy. He's not going to win the Heisman Trophy. Might get.
You got to catch up somehow, don't you, Ty?
That's the way to do it. I hesitate to say he'll be invited to New York because you don't even know what that's going to look like this year. But I'm going to take BYU and Zach Wilson. Now, who are you going with, Sean? Are you going to protect your lead and go with Coastal, or are you going to be with me and go BYU?
I'm going to go with you, BYU.
Okay.
I'm going to roll the dice. I think they got what it takes.
Yes.
We got a chance, Clay.
That you do. All right, let's pick the SEC game. Since you're on with us, Sean, we always have to pick the Texas A&M game because of your misses. Texas A&M traveling to Auburn, one of the better games in the SEC slate this weekend. A&M's favored by 6 in Auburn. They're coming off the Alabama loss. Guys, what are we thinking? Sean, I'll let you start out first.
You know where he's going.
You know where I got to go with this. I mean, come on.
Texas A&M.
I got to go to a wedding with my wife this weekend, so I'm picking – and we're headed to Texas, so I got to take Texas A&M.
Take the Aggies.
Got to take it.
Who are you going on this one?
I think A&M wins the game.
Okay. Clay?
I go A&M too. Yeah.
So you want to go on the island?
I go opposite. I go Oppo.
Oppo
I go the
Taco.
other way.
Okay.
Yeah, I go Oppo.
Okay, so you're going Auburn. Clay, I'll go with you. Well, now I'm going to change my mind.
Yeah.
6 points. Is it a 3-point game? I'm going to go Texas A&M. I'm putting my faith in Kellen Mond and Jimbo Fisher, and I hope I'm rewarded for that. I don't know if I will be.
Can I change mine? Because it's not going to – I don't –
50-50 Clay Henry has
I went Auburn.
Folks.
I went Auburn last week, and they broke my heart because I thought 24 is too many. Let's go A&M. A&M they're rolling. They got a lot more to play for, and Auburn's playing for Gus's job, and I don't think the players really care if Gus keeps his job.
So are we all on A&M? Is that here?
I think after Clay has changed 3 times, I think we all landed on A&M.
Okay, Arkansas, Mizzou, do this real quick. 3-point spread is what I've got in front of me. Tommy, where are you going? You going Tigers? You going Hogs?
Go Hogs.
Go Hogs. Clay?
I go Arkansas, yes.
I know where you're going.
Suey Pig.
I try to pick up points. That's the question. But do I be?
I know, but you also
want to be
have
liked.
To,
I know where.
I mean, you don't want to lose points. I think it's
Tommy picked LSU 2 weeks ago and it worked. It paid off. But I truly think Arkansas is going to win this game, so I'm going to go Arkansas for this one. I hope I'm right.
Did anybody? Well, yeah, we split one game on this.
Yeah, the BYU Coastal game.
The standings are not going to – you guys are not catching up, and I'm not going to catch Sean. It's going to be the same.
Not going to do much this week.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we're brought to you by the Fence Man. That's why we call it Fence Man Friday Football Picks. 18 months, same as cash financing. Custom jobs don't scare them. Wood, vinyl, custom wrought iron, chain link, razor wire to keep clay out of your yard. Whatever you need, you got it.
Well, at this point, the way we're going, he's going to probably come down and start beating on me, so I probably need to build a huge fence around myself.
12-foot fence with razor wire to keep clay out.
Put some electric to it too.
Yeah, with card readers and cameras, and you do all that stuff.
We
right?
can.
Yeah,
we
I got
can.
my drone,
we actually have a guy who we're doing work or bidding for. If you guys don't know this, a storage facility, you can actually rent your storage unit through the kiosk through a gate.
There you go.
Wow.
So, Fenceman can do it all. 782-3936 wherever you're listening. He'll come to you. 782-3936 for the Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work.
Dave Matter joins us next.
Tommy Kraft for the Fenceman. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fenceman. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fenceman. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is.
Perfect. I'm getting a head start on my list for Santa.
Well, we've got great year-end deals on Camry, Highlander, RAV4, Tacoma, and more at your participating Toyota dealer.
What else you got?
Let's see. There's also Corolla, Highlander, Tundra. Oh, and we have a great selection of hybrid vehicles. Camry hybrid, Highlander hybrid.
Perhaps I'm not making myself clear. What kind of toys you got? Video games, stuffed animals, sea monkeys, you know, the good stuff.
It's actually Toyotathon, not Toyotathon. We have great deals on vehicles, not toys. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Well, okay, then what can I get for $5?
Oh, well,
During Toyotathon, get $1,500 total bonus, or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Tacoma Special Edition for $199 a month for 24 months with $999 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states at N1421.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
You have work to do. You need a tractor that helps get it done. TYM has the full range of tractors designed to meet the task. With the TYM easy-to-use controls and features, switching from one job to another is easy. And with the full range of models from 19 horsepower to 105 horsepower turbo, there is a TYM tractor that's right for the job and for you. But you can't buy a TYM tractor just anywhere. It's only sold at authorized TYM dealers like Bush Tractor, 7301 South Zero, Fort Smith.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
When you want a beer, you go to a bar. When you want top-shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars in an atmosphere befitting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items, including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites. Dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Is your Arkansas home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a no-cost-to-you program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, their crews will install measures that can include attic insulation, LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and much more. The services provided through this program are at no cost to you for qualifying homes. If you or someone you know could benefit from home weatherization improvements, call OG&E today at 800-272-9741. That's 800-272-9741. 8741.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Ho, ho, ho! What do you know, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I've cooked up the perfect way to beat the 2020 blues. This month, you can jingle all the way home in one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. Is your current car less reliable than a reindeer? Is it giving you resting Grinch face? If your old ride has your tinsel in a tangle, dump that sled and get up to $3,100 extra for your trade. Don't get Scrooged by past credit mishaps. My elves are working round the clock to help you get approved. And my non-commissioned sales staff will make it easy for you to jingle all the way home in a nicer, newer car. Keeping the car you have, get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with free winter-ready inspection, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done once 67 people dump their sleds only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly to mostly sunny sky today. Our high this afternoon in the upper 40s to lower 50s. Will stay clear tonight. An overnight low near 30. Saturday, lots of sun. Our high in the low 50s north, upper 50s south. And then Sunday, highs in the upper 40s north, mid 50s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Rhodes Chevrolet. Find new roads. Van Buren, Arkansas.
KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Quantum Property Services. Buying, selling, investing, and encompassing all your property needs.
What's up, Mizzou? Tiger Nation, baby. Hey, Tanner, you got something for us? Yeah, man, we help me freestyle a song. No problem, man. One take max. You think we can do it once? Easy. You know the worst thing about Arkansas? What's that? It's got Kansas in it. No, we're not knocking on the door. We're busting in, and we ain't waiting anymore to be champion. Gotta win, gotta fight, yeah. This is Missouri, we ain't taking our time. Oh, we in a hurry. Oh, screw red and blue. We are Mizzou, we are Mizzou.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Bush Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong?
Lloyd! The Morning Rush starts right now.
We're going to be talking with Dave Matter, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, coming up. He covers the Missouri Tigers. Get your questions in if you got any of them. 877-377-6963.
Before we chat with Dave about the game tomorrow morning, have you checked your mortgage rate lately? You know, a lot of times you close your loan, you move on, you just start making payments, and you forget about it. You might want to look at the rate on your mortgage because your friends at Arvest Bank would love the opportunity to review your current loan. Arvest has competitive rates, and if you haven't checked right now, 15 and 30-year rates are historic lows right now. So you might be able to lower your monthly payment, take years off your loan, or do some of both. Arvest services 99% of the loans that they originate, and most of the time you can deal with a local branch right in your neighborhood where you're possibly banking right now. Give Randy a call at Arvest, 479-573-1127. That's 573-1127, or download the Home For Me app to your mobile device and search for an Arvest loan officer that's near you. Arvest Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Dave, I definitely want to talk about your article on Sam Pittman, this Arkansas-Missouri game, but I want to ask you first about this place called Chevy's. Now, I think it's since closed down, but Sam Pittman has talked about that a couple times since he was in Columbia, and that apparently was his favorite place to go eat. Did you get a chance to go there and eat? Can you tell us about that place a little bit?
Yeah, Columbia has a lot of great restaurants. I was kind of surprised that was his place of choice. It's just a Mexican chain restaurant that they've got a few of them around the state. It was fine. I think it closed about 9-10 years ago. There's some good Mexican places in town. There's some great restaurants in Columbia, but that was his place of choice. They did have good chips and salsa. I'll give you that.
Well, Dave, I've only been to Columbia once, but I did get to partake, thanks to Bob Holt's recommendation, in Shakespeare's Pizza. And let me tell you something, that is spectacular. But do want to talk Arkansas football with you. You wrote a really good piece on Sam Pittman, and you got a chance to talk to some of his former players. And one of the quotes that I thought stood out is, I wish I could say I was surprised, but those guys at Arkansas are going to play their ass off for him, speaking to Sam Pittman. Dave, what did you learn from these players and different people you talked to about who Arkansas now has currently as their head football coach?
Well, I knew it back in 2000. I was covering Mizzou. I was right out of college, and Sam Pittman came in as the offensive line coach at Missouri. He was a lot younger then, and he didn't have the established background that he has now. And Missouri players, those linemen just absolutely loved him. They were really disappointed that Missouri made a head coaching change after that season, so he was gone. But those guys really liked him a lot. I think he was kind of perfect for what that team needed at the time. And A.J. Ricker is one of the players I talked to. He's been an offensive line coach since he got out of college. He's been all over. He's been at Missouri, Kansas, Illinois. Right now he's SMU's O-line coach. And he still keeps in touch with Sam all the time. Even though he only played 1 year for him, he learned a lot. And he said, really, Sam is the reason why he got into coaching. And he was thrilled for him when he got this job, as I'm sure a lot of O-line, career assistant position coaches were a year ago when Arkansas hired him, because it was kind of a victory for all of them. There's so many kind of coaching grunts, as I think how I described it, around the country that never get that shot. A lot of them never get a chance to even be a coordinator. So, Sam is was a widely admired guy for his very short time at Mizzou, and those guys really love playing for him.
As you talk to the former players, and there always seems to be a common theme about that bond or the relationship or those conversations in the office. What were some of the common themes as you talked to former players preparing your article and doing your research that maybe stood out to you?
Oh, I think it was just Sam's personality. They played before Sam came in. The O-line coach at Missouri was Andy Moeller, who later went on and coached at Michigan. The son of the great Michigan coach, and he was fiery. I mean, he was hardcore, and it was like being in the military playing for him. Now they learned a lot from him, but Sam obviously came in with a much different demeanor and a different kind of a tact and a tone with the players, and I think it was good for them. It's what they kind of needed, and that's just the guy that he is. I mean, my very brief time covering him, I remember this. Mm-hmm. Sam didn't shake your hand; he hugged you, even like the reporters back then, and that was just who he was. He just seemed like a real affable guy that was kind of a perfect fit for what that team needed. It was just a shame that they made the coaching change then, and he was part of the group that kind of got swept out of there.
Yeah, coaching changes are inevitable in this game, and one that occurred a year ago was Barry Odom leaving. Brad Davis was part of that staff. Sam Carter, you got others on this Arkansas staff that were part of Missouri. How big a factor, or what part of the understory of this game tomorrow between Arkansas and Missouri is that from the Missouri side with Barry Odom coming in as the defensive coordinator for Arkansas? Is that much of the conversation this week from the Missouri side of it?
Yeah, it pretty much dominated the conversation. I think on two levels, really. One, you've got the X's and O's factor, kind of the intelligence gathering. Barry knows 90% of Missouri's players. He recruited almost the entire roster except for the guys that they added back in February and some grad transfers. So he has the scouting report on these guys. And he also knows, Ryan Walters, Missouri's defensive coordinator, who was sort of, a guy that he brought up and promoted. So he has a good idea of what Missouri would run on defense. Not that he's going to coach against Missouri's defense, but that's stuff that he can, give over to Coach Briles and Arkansas staff. And then I think there's just the emotional attachment. I mean, Missouri players, it was not their choice to fire their head coach last year. They really love Barry, respect him a lot. The guys that stuck around, they're really behind Eli Drinkwitz. I mean, these players are bought in, they're on board, they've won 4 or 5. But you won't hear a bad word said about Barry and the job that he did recruiting these players and coaching them. So there was a lot of love thrown around this week from Missouri's players. Now, they want to go out and beat them. There's no doubt about that. But, there's still those emotional attachments there because that's just kind of the kind of coach he is. And, he builds those bonds with players, and those are still strong here in Columbia.
Dave Matter with the St. Louis Post-Dispatch on the Morning Rush. And Dave, based on what you just said about Barry Odom, the connection between him and his former players, and now him facing off against not only his former team but his alma mater, how much does this game mean to him getting a win this weekend?
To Barry, I'm sure it means a lot. I mean, for one, Arkansas would like to get another win because they finished with Alabama next week, so you don't want to end the season, the regular season, on a 4-game losing streak. But I haven't talked to Barry in a while to exchange some messages with him during the season. But knowing him as long as I have, and I've known him for more than 20 years, there's nothing more that he wants than to get this win this weekend. Now, he loves those Missouri players. He's got guys from his staff, from his Missouri staff that are still coaching in Missouri that he's got a ton of respect for. But he's not going to be giving hugs out to Missouri's administration this week, the guys that fired him a year ago. There's no doubt about that. And he'll want nothing more than to walk out of Memorial Stadium with a victory. But it's personal to him, but I don't think he'll coach it during the game personally. This is not all about personal vengeance for him. He still, I think, without talking to him about this directly, he still has a fondness for the school, the place, the town. He still has a lot of friends and supporters here in Columbia, but he'll want to get this win, no doubt.
And one of his former players, Nick Bolden, is having another what looks to be an all-SEC year. And I know there's been a lot of praise in Fayetteville towards Grant Morgan, Bumper Poole. Bolden's playing like one of the best linebackers in the SEC. How impactful is he going to be in the game tomorrow, Dave?
He's everywhere on the field for this team. He's really a special player. If you see a tackle in the backfield or a tackle near the line of scrimmage, you don't even have to wait to see who it was. It's always him. And he's a guy he does all the right things on the field, off the field. He's a leader of this team for sure. He's just a junior, but he's going to walk through the senior day ceremony before the game. And he hasn't made a formal decision yet, but they want to have a chance to honor him in case he does decide to enter the draft, which is the expectation around the program because he's projected as a first-round pick. But he's a really special player. I think he should be on ballots for SEC Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know if he'll get that. He doesn't play on one of the most high-profile teams, but if he had if he was an Alabama player or if he played for, Florida or Georgia, he'd get that, no doubt, I would think. He's that kind of player and having that kind of year.
Dave, you bring up SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and we're speaking with Dave Matter. St. Louis Post-Dispatch covers the Tigers here on the Morning Rush. I know that the SEC Network came out earlier this week. I think it was Roman Harper that said that this game potentially decides the SEC Coach of the Year. In your opinion, do you think Eli Drinkwitz and Sam Pittman are really in contention for that award that is SEC Coach of the Year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I kind of describe this game more as an elimination game for that award, though, because if Missouri wins, I think Drinkwitz is still alive. If that happens, Sam still has to play Alabama. You're looking at a 4-6 or maybe 3-7 record for the Hogs, and I think it'd be kind of hard to give the award, Coach of the Year award, to a coach whose team is 3-7, and that doesn't say anything about the job that he has done this year, kind of reviving the program. It's been fantastic. But I just think some other candidates would jump out a little bit more. I mean, you still have to talk about Jimbo Fisher with the potential to go 9-1 at A&M, the job that Dan Mullen has done at Florida, and then Drinkwitz too. Although I think Eli probably has to win out to go 7-3 to really get enough votes to win that. That would require a home win against Georgia, which is going to be hard. Missouri would be the underdog there for sure. But I just think taking the award out of it, you look at what these two first-year hires have done at these programs where things looked pretty grim a year ago, more grim at Arkansas for sure. They've turned out to be really fantastic hires, and I think both programs are in a better place than they were a year ago, no doubt.
Dave, we spent a lot of time this week having conversation about this air quotes rivalry game between Arkansas and Missouri. It doesn't feel like it's quite there to call a rivalry from our side of the fence. What's the feeling like when it comes to the term rivalry from Missouri's perspective? What's it like there on the ground in Columbia? Does anyone there consider this game a rivalry game?
I mean, it's getting there. It's not. The fact that we have to ask this every year proves that it's not, and it comes up every year, no doubt. The Missouri players are kind of tired of being asked about it because they don't have a choice in this. They weren't in the boardroom, 8-9 years ago when Missouri left the Big 12 and gave up all of their natural rivals, Kansas and Kansas State was a good rival. Iowa State was a good game back and forth. Missouri had a great rivalry with Nebraska, and that's off the table. So Missouri plays a role in not having a natural rival because they left their. But this one does make sense. These things take time to happen. It's not going to happen overnight by any means. Proximity-wise, it makes sense. There is a history there between the programs in basketball, especially. Norm Stewart had some great games against Arkansas over the years. It wasn't Arkansas basketball's favorite place to come play. No doubt. You had the Mike Anderson storyline for a while. I mean, he was a popular coach in Columbia and then was the most hated coach in the country by Missouri fans when he left for Arkansas. So there is stuff there that could make this good. The Barry Odom storyline is there, obviously. Drinkwitz is from the state of Arkansas. But these things take time. They just can't happen overnight. The SEC tries to manufacture them, but it just can't happen even over the span of just 10 years. So we'll see eventually. But Missouri fans know they left the Big 12. They ditched their rivalry with Kansas, although they're going to play here in basketball and football soon enough. But they have what they have, and this is it, basically.
Dave, before we let you go, like I told you at the beginning, I did go to Shakespeare's Pizza. Really enjoyed my experience. The next time I'm in Columbia 2 years from now, assuming they don't play in KC, where should I go eat, in your opinion?
Oh, you got to go to Booch's downtown Columbia. You got to bring cash. It's a burger joint, but they don't take cards. There's nothing fancy there, but it's been there for over 100 years. Great place to go. CJ's if you need some wings, and you can never go wrong with Shakespeare's. But unfortunately for Sam, Chevy's is gone, and it was I'm not even sure. I think a few restaurants have been there since. But great places downtown. You can't go wrong.
What was the name of the burger place?
Booch's.
Okay.
It's a billiard hall, and you can't miss it.
Great. I can't wait. Can't wait.
A
Dave.
billiard hall.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that term. And not a pool hall. It's a billiard hall. So. Much higher class establishment that way.
Dave Matters,
for sure.
St. Louis Post-Dispatch, covers the Missouri Tigers there. Dave, we appreciate your time this morning going into a variety of topics, and hopefully we'll see a good game tomorrow against Missouri and Arkansas.
Great. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Dave. We'll get Clay's reaction to that conversation in just a moment. We're brought to you by Washita Farms, a state-licensed cannabis farm processor, seed labeler right here in Arkansas. You can find them in Hot Springs Village. If you have someone on your Christmas shopping list that uses and gets benefit from CBD products, you don't know what to get them, how about a gift card from Washita Farms? Just go to their website, washitafarms.com. You can use the code WPS15 at checkout and get a great discount. But you can buy gift cards online and give those to your friends and loved ones that are on your list that find the benefits, that relieve stress, ease muscle pain, have so many great, wonderful benefits to feel better from CBD products. All of those are small batch made. Lab results are verified. You can find all those right there on the website as well. Stop in and see their store, 3958 Highway 7 North, or look for their products in over 200 stores around Arkansas. Again, use the code WPS15 at checkout at WashitaFarms.com. That's WashitaFarms.com.
Going to bring Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, in the conversation, but first want to go to the phone lines and welcome in Marcel in New York. Marcel, you're on the Morning Rush, buddy.
Hey, good morning, you guys. Happy Friday. Yes, it is me, yours truly, getting you set ready for the gridiron tomorrow. Clemson, Virginia Tech.
All right, we're gonna pass on that. I think Marcel has the wrong number. I always wonder when you get a call, like outside of the listen area. Like a lot of times we have listeners from New York, Tennessee, all over the place, but then that spiel. Just
anybody here getting ready for Clemson, Virginia Tech here? Clay, are you getting ready for that game?
Do we think that Marcel might have had a betting service?
I think Marcel may have been trying to sell us.
He's soliciting
some
something.
picks.
He's soliciting something.
Trying to get a free plug here in on the air.
That could have happened.
Yep.
So
I think that was where we were heading. Like, call in and I've got the pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just got a
1-900.
I just got a.
We didn't let him get that far.
Yeah.
He just
stuff isn't free here, folks.
Yeah, he just followed me on Twitter. Says the early morning riser, ringing caller of the year, true New York sports ambassador.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not notice that until now. So we're gonna move on for that. Clay, what did you think of what Dave had to say? I mean, you were talking to us during the break because I know you read Dave's article about with him talking to his former players. A lot of similarities to what you heard from Frank Ragnow.
Yeah, and Travis Swanson and those guys that they loved him and they had fun, but they also knew when it was time to work, and it would that's the magic in in somebody like Wilson Matthews. The players love him, but they also know that the work ethic that he instills is going to make them great players, and they want the good guys, like a Ragnow or the A.J. Ricker. They want to be good. They want to go to the next level, and they know that what Sam's given them is going to take them there. So that they're not afraid to get dirty and go out there and work and practice, and know that Sam's going to stay on their butt the whole time they're out there practicing, and it's going to benefit them. And the guys that don't like that, will fall by the wayside anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I was also highly interested in his take on the rivalry deal, and I can remember Gary Pinkel coming to the Touchdown Club in Northwest Arkansas, and the first thing he said is that, and this was 4 years ago, and he says there is no rivalry because if there was, I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have invited me. He says I've never been asked to speak in Lawrence, Kansas. That's just the way it is. So, you didn't, you never asked Darryl Royal to come speak in Little Rock. I mean, you just didn't.
Yeah.
And so
that's a great point.
Yeah, I think that it will get there eventually, but there has to be something nasty happen to somebody's got to steal the other team's mascot or something. I don't know.
I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah.
You want something started, you just tell me where to go. Tommy's got the bailout money. You tell me something illegal.
I mean,
I have to
first
do.
I go out there and steal all the Columbia, Missouri signs, outside town. Just bring them all back.
Okay.
Do something like that. They don't have a mascot. They don't have Mike the Tiger like they do at LSU. So you can't steal the Tiger. Not that anybody will steal a tiger.
You really shouldn't probably even attempt that. So
No, it's
a
like
live tiger's probably not something for just anybody to handle.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you could steal their mascot suit. That might, it would make the mascot mad, the guy that wears it, or gal. But that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah. We mentioned this game was supposed to be played in Kansas City, and it's not. I think that I don't know if that takes away or adds to this. I don't think anything adds to anything in 2020 right now when there's nobody in the stands, but I was really looking forward to Kansas City that trip.
Get some barbecue.
Yeah. So, all right. Hey, the bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, the supporting hardware. Hey, without it, you're pretty much out of business. Go to work today and just shut off all the computers, the routers, the switches, and see how long you stay in business. It's probably not going to work long. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all of your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, VPNs to hardware, software protection, virus and malware protection. They do everything for us here in the Morning Rush Studios, and they can help you with all of your IT service needs. 479-802-4978. Call and talk to Daryl. That's 802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Coming up in the program, Urban Meyer to Texas? That's next.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Ty, fortunately, has saved the world and not yet procreated.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
With no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, banking with Capital One is like the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like Taylor Swift choosing what to wear.
It's looking kind of chilly out today. I think I'll go with a cardigan.
Yep, even easier than that. And with our top-rated app, you can bank anytime, anywhere, making Capital One an even easier decision. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
New consumer accounts only. Approval required. Terms apply. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV. In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at kohlergreen.com.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
This year's Value Bonanza sales event at Alma Tractor and Alma gives you more ways to save. Choose 0% financing, cashback, and more on select New Holland tractors, hay and forage products, and material handling equipment. These offers end December 31st, so make the trip to Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma today. You get more choices and more savings when you buy during Value Bonanza.
For commercial use only, customer participation subject to credit qualification with CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required.
Christmas time is here, and it's time to see the folks at the Breeden RV Center in Van Buren. Go check out the new inventory arriving weekly so you can make your Christmas time extra special this year by purchasing your dream trailer. The only dealer that gives you maintenance for life for free. Breeden RV can service all RV makes and models. Give them a call at 262-2418 or check them out online at BreedenRV.com. Mention you heard this on ESPN Arkansas and get an extra $500 cash back when you buy a new or used RV. Merry Christmas from Breeden RV.
Craving prime rib this morning? Hardee's introduces the new prime rib and fried egg biscuit. We took tender prime rib and put it on a fluffy made-from-scratch biscuit. Yeah, that's right. We made prime rib for breakfast. Premium, juicy, sliced prime rib for breakfast. And then we topped it with a freshly cracked fried egg and melted Swiss. Why? We knew you needed it, that's why. The new prime rib and fried egg biscuit from Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for limited time during breakfast hours at participating restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
This holiday season, our troops overseas will be missing their loved ones even more than usual, so support our troops by sending a care package this season. This message courtesy of River City Realty, serving the area with pride. For all of your realty needs, call Air Force veteran Glenda Edwards at 479-883-9564 or her partner Shelly Blaylock at 479-461-6626. River City Realty is reminding everyone to please support our troops by sending a care package.
Do you like paying rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Chambers Bank, we're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year, up to $15,000. Now that's a good start to 2021. Go to hitthatline.com and enter the free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14th. Complete contest rules are at hitthatline.com. Let us pay your rent or mortgage for a year, courtesy of Chambers Bank, real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, and ESPN Arkansas. ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Y'all better put him in the Heisman. You better put him up there. I'm tired of him being number 4.
We got that wood right here, baby.
Somebody better look at this guy. He's the best football player in the country, and his name's not being mentioned. Lou Holtz, Mark May. Number 5, you better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush here as we continue on a Football Friday. Want to talk to all you this morning, 877-377-6963 if you want to get in here. We're talking Urban Meyer coming up. There are rumors around him surrounding if he ends up with the Texas Longhorns or not. Tom Herman hasn't been fired. I want Clay Henry's take on that. We'll round out the conversation as we always do, talking Arkansas and Missouri, and then we'll also get into this taco eating contest that Jenkins and I are going to participate in later this morning. And we want to go to the phone lines first and welcome in Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources. Larry, good morning, man.
Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Friday to you and to everybody listening. Listen, going to be a great weekend over here at Rath Auto Resources. All during the month of December, we're going to help you get out of that sled you're driving and get into something nicer and newer. You know, if you've heard the radio ad that's running, it's kind of funny. We had a piece in there that really was inspired by Tommy talking about resting Grinch face.
Yeah.
Tommy, I've seen that look on your face.
You know, I know it. Ty gives that to me. Yeah.
Does he? Oh, it's a Ty thing.
It ties the source of that. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know.
It's like RBF.
Yeah.
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 Well, listen, we're making it so easy for folks to get that nicer, newer car. We're giving extra money for your trades, folks, up to $3,200 extra for your trade. So come in and talk to one of our friendly non-commissioned solution specialists. They'll help you find the car that's just right for you from our big inventory of Rath road-ready late model used cars. In the Mitsubishi store in Springdale, they've got $500 holiday cash on top of the other incentives, so you can save up to $3,800 on a new Mitsubishi right now. So we've got some terrific things going on. All we're missing is you. Come see us this weekend. Dump that sled. Get you something nicer and newer. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith or Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. And or you can check us out online at rathauto.com.
All right, you can get a smile on your face at Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith, and in Springdale. Larry, have a great weekend. We'll talk next week.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. And folks, come and see us.
We mentioned it being National Cookie Day today, and it was National Pie Day.
National Pie Day, what, Wednesday?
I believe that's correct. And, Tommy, your friend Robert gifted us with a delectable –
I think it was National Pie Day Monday. Because me and Robert made a trip to a basketball game on Tuesday, and he heard us talking about – it may have been Tuesday, I don't know, but he heard us talking about it. And Robert makes these very delicious peanut butter pies. And he said, Ty needs to have a peanut butter pie, doesn't he? And I said,
that he does.
Absolutely, Ty needs to have a peanut butter pie, because I knew if Robert brought you a peanut butter pie, I'd get a slice of it. And, Clay, I hate that you are not in the studio with us right now, because my good friend Robert dropped off about 10 minutes ago a homemade peanut butter pie with fresh meringue on the top of it, and it is, well, I'll let Ty tell you how it is, but it's delicious.
It's very, very delightful.
So I'm going to Columbia in about an hour after we finish the show.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go through Fort Smith?
You can. You can. There is a route for that. So.
Yeah, I think you go through, you go Highway 7 to 40, and then across to Fort Smith, and then up 71, and then
just a little bit out 44.
Of the way.
Yeah,
it's only about 4 hours out of the way, but I can do it. Yeah,
now
it might be worth it.
Now the pie, this pie is worth it, because Robert brings one of these to our group of friends. Robert's one of my officiating buddies and a great friend, and he brings one to the house every year for Christmas, and it is it is a hit every year at Christmas at our house.
I can see why.
Now, you're going to Columbia today. It is National Cookie Day. Now, one thing you can do today, Clay, I was just thinking of this, you're going to roll right through Harrison. So I'd stop at Neighbor's Mill because I don't know where else you could buy better cookies than Neighbor's Mill right there on your way through Harrison.
Yeah,
that'd
well,
be a good selection.
That's not the route.
Well,
but
that's the route I'd be taking.
It would be worth the, that's going 40 miles west when I really need to go.
Yeah, you need to go up to Lebanon,
north.
don't you? You need to go straight north out of Mountain Home on Highway 5 and
I mean
jig-jag up there to I-44.
You can stay, you can get rooms any town you want to now. It used to be you couldn't stay in college towns, for the weekend of games. You'd have to pay a 2-night minimum or whatever. That's the way it was in Fayetteville. I got a room just a few blocks from the stadium in Gainesville. The same thing applies everywhere in SEC this year with, small crowds. I can get a room in Columbia, but I bet you can get. I'm trying to decide. I think I'm going to stay in Osage Beach just to kind of soak in the Ozark, the vibes of
Don't run into Ruth.
Netflix deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, they got poppy fields there. Everything that you need.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm just joking. But I mean,
he's not joking.
Those cookies at Neighbor's Mill, the oatmeal raisin. Oh boy!
I got to go to Harrison today. I think I may have to stop at Neighbor's Mill just for the selection there. But I don't know. After the pie, I probably overdone.
Yeah,
my
they got a
sugar
drive-through now. You can call and they'll have it all ready for you. Now we just did a commercial for them. They need to pony up. Yeah.
Coming up, we'll talk a little Urban Meyer in the room with Texas, Sterling and Center Ridge. We will get to your call as well. Also, again, want to talk and give our predictions on the Arkansas-Missouri game, and then as well, hopefully squeeze in what Jenkins and I will be doing with the taco contest, too.
I mean, Clay, we already know this. I mean, Ty's going to get crushed in this taco eating contest, right?
I would think so. I mean, there's some times when the
Vegas odds have been pretty
eating.
Clear, yeah.
Joey Chestnut, he surprises me in the hot dog deal. I was like, he's not big enough to eat that many hot dogs, but he does it. So I don't know. Ty, you can, don't let the bigness, of Jenkins, keep you from competing hard tomorrow.
About 2 more slices of this pie, he may not. He may have to tap out.
Tap out as far wave the white flag. I think I'm just.
Maybe that's Robert's plan. Maybe he has a heavy bet on Jenkins and
in Vegas.
He's trying to move the line here.
How about his concern? Well, this pie is so stinking good. It's right there with you. All right, we'll get into all those conversations coming up on the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is former Coach Houston Nutt, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
Pre-order your hot spring spa today during the pre-order holiday hot tub sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. There's no better time of the year to enjoy your hot spring spa than right now. And the entire month of December is your chance to save at Burton Pools and Spas. Pre-order your hot tub right now. Save up to $1,000 off on select models at Burton Pools and Spas. Hot tubs start at $28.95 with 26 different models to choose from. And don't forget about the endless pools. There's 8 swim spa models right now available at Burton Pools and Spas. Enjoy those cold winter days ahead in your new hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. Don't miss the pre-order sale going on right now. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. And see everything available online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They are your source for backyard fun.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
FenceMan.com. Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936. Harry Robinson Buick GMC has over 200 pre-owned vehicles to choose from luxury to economy and everything in between, including over 50 great vehicles with payments under $250 a month, certain to fit your needs and your budget. And at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, you always get more for your trade. 50 vehicles with payments under $250 a month at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off I-540 in Fort Smith.
Full-time farmers, hobby farmers, and landowners, your time is important. Make the most out of that time with a brand new Branson tractor from Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith. With tractors from 19 to 105 horsepower, we have a tractor that will fit your needs. Ask Bush Machine and Tractor about their special financing options and free loader rebates. Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith is Arkansas's #1 Branson dealer. Check their inventory at bushtractor.com.
You could win a year of free internet from Wave Rural Connect. Here's how it works. If you sign up and are contracted between October 1st and December 31st, 2020, you have a chance to win 1 year of internet based on the internet speed you signed up for. That's it. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online, waveruralconnect.com to get details and sign up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Come see what's new at the Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. In stock now, irons from TaylorMade, Mizuno, along with new woods and irons from Callaway. Also in stock, the RTX Zip Core wedges and Spider putters. The Golf Nut carries a great line of shoes, apparel, and accessories for your everyday golfing needs. As always, check Facebook for our daily specials. Work on your game in our indoor simulation base, or play a round of golf on great courses like Pebble Beach or Bethpage Black. The Golf Nut, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Stop in today at Randall Ford, where you'll find over 150 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. We have what you want at the price that will fit your budget. We have 35 certified pre-owns. We even have over 25 vehicles under $10,000 and no payment for 90 days. All used vehicles go through a 115-point safety inspection. Plus, we will deliver your new purchase right to your front door. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or online 24/7 at randallford.com. Home of the lowest price guarantee.
Fresh means fresh, as in no preservatives. That's right. If it's fresh, it doesn't need to be preserved. Try Jim's 100% premium Wisconsin cheese. Fresh whole milk mozzarella, wood smoked provolone, old world style Romano and Parmesan. The freshest all-you-can-eat salad bar in town. No preservatives and fresh every time. Fresh, fast, Jim's Razorback Pizza. At the corner of Greenwood and Gary in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Back to October of 2012. They're going to run and get that boot. They're going across the field. That's theirs now.
The city's going to come unglued.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Kraft ESPN.
Want to go straight to the phone lines to a guy that's been waiting for a little bit, Mr. Sterling in Center Ridge, one of my favorite callers. Sterling, what you got for us this morning on the Morning Rush?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Man, it's going.
Yeah, I mean, that's how bad I want to talk to y'all. I usually don't wait, but I really wanted to talk to y'all this morning. I appreciate y'all letting me have the line. I went from Center Ridge to Damascus while I waited, but it's easy to do when you're driving and not at work.
Sorry, we were busy eating pie. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. Yeah. No worries, my friend. Guys, I'm going to talk a little bit about rivalries and talk a little bit about official craft. First, on the rivalries. Rivalries usually develop when you play with something on the line, time and time again. Mm-hmm. It really don't matter who wins, as long as there's a championship on the line. I mean, I hear people say so often that if they have a great rivalry, both teams have to win. That's not so. What has to be a common denominator, something on the line. Look at Yankees Red Sox. Through the course of history, most of the time the Yankees win. Most of the time. Celtics Lakers, most of the time the Celtics won. But it's still a rivalry because they were always playing for something significant. That's the first thing you have to have in a rivalry. And then to go to Clay's point, then you have to have another way is proximity and something nasty happens. Also forms rivalries. But, I mean, they're never man-made. They're always formed through the competition of some sort. And on officials, I know there's a lot of great officials out there, and I know they're not perfect, and I know they try hard. But to act like that officials are above being petty, or above leaning some ways on calls, I think is unrealistic. They're no different from anyone else in society. You have the majority of them are good, and you have your bad apples. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just think that's a fact. You see it too many times. I mean, I know it's a movie, but it's based on some truth. Remember the Titans when they had those refs doing bad things. You had Donegan. That's just what we know about. I just, like I say, I believe the majority of them good and have great character and caught it by the bull. But I refuse to believe that they're not human. That there's not a lot of them that if somebody riding them too much, or somebody talks to them the wrong way, or stole their girlfriend one time or something. I don't know. I mean, whatever the case, but I mean, I don't think they're above not being above board. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, Sterling, I hate to tell you this, but remember the Titans was a Hollywood script.
Yeah.
It's some truth to the story.
Okay, all right.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Guys, I love your show. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Sterling.
You want to respond to that,
well,
Mr.
I mean,
Referee?
He's correct. There are good and bad in everything. There's good doctors. There's bad doctors. There's good lawyers. There's bad lawyers. The difference is good bankers, bad bankers, radio. Keep going down the list. Good writers, bad writers.
It's only
how many jobs, and there's a few. Officiating's one of them. I think policing can be one of them, where you are constantly screamed, criticized, picked at, yelled at, questioned, criticized, scorned, whatever adjectives you want to keep throwing in here, with every decision you make by at least 50% of those involved. I mean, that's what happens in that industry. Some are more mentally tough to handle that, more experienced. Some are not. And I think it depends on what level he's looking at. Do I think officials go in trying to with an agenda? No, I don't think that happens. But I do think what Sterling is saying is there are some better than others. Absolutely. But that's true in any profession in life. There are some that are better at what we do than what we're doing right here. That's just true. They're better doctors than other doctors. They just keep going down the list. It's absolutely the truth.
So I got a question for you, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it seem when a coach, especially in a high profile game that's meaningful, a coach gets a technical, do they get the next 3 calls? Why is that? Why does that happen?
Why does it seem that way, or why is it that way? Which is your question?
I'm with Clay on this one. I think I am 100% with Clay on this.
Mm-hmm.
I think when a coach gets attacked, that team immediately seems to get the benefit of the whistle like that.
Well, there's an art to managing a ball game, man. I mean,
I think you
What
just
I would
played.
say.
I think you just played right into his head.
I
no, I
think
mean,
he
I'm just
answered
telling
the
you,
question.
you have to manage a
I
ball
think
game
you just.
sometimes,
I listen. I have not even refed a intramural game, and I remember dog cussing the crap of those idiots that used to run that. So at least we don't have.
And you should have been assessed. Listen, everybody gets fired up about it. Technical foul is just another call in a ball game. If a coach does certain things that fit the criteria of a technical foul is assessed. It's just another call in a ball game. Everybody gets fired up about it. It's just a call like a hand check or anything else. Just another call.
Well,
I think what Clay
I
said.
love it when he says assessed. It was assessed.
We garnered it.
Yeah. All right, real quick, we got 2 more callers before we get into this taco contest. Eddie in Clarksville, real quick, you got about a minute and a half, buddy.
Good morning, gentlemen. And I was listening to your show, and I just got through listening to Sterling. When you talk about, I just listened to Tommy say, when you talk about bad apples, well, let me tell you about the SEC. You better put a little bit, better spike it up this morning. If you don't think there's no agendas in officiating in the SEC, you better spike it up, sir, because I've seen it too many times. Let me tell you this. When we get to, there's a game tomorrow in Columbia, Missouri. I was out and about the other day. I heard somebody say Christmas was more than just opened up presents under the tree. But let me tell you something. You better make it mean a little bit more in this football program, how it relates to tomorrow. When you go to Columbia, you better make it mean a little bit more to win this football game tomorrow morning. And I can hear the bell ringing now. And the question is, I tell you, I already know Missouri, what their game plan is. They're going to come in to burn you. They're going to put the ball in the air. They're going to be aggressive. The question is, are we going to get to the quarterback and put him on his rear end? It's just as simple as that.
Yep.
And if we don't, we're going to get beat. It's just as simple as that, Coach Oldham. Let me get
About
Coach
30
Brow,
seconds,
Kendall
buddy.
Brow, sir. Your
30
game
seconds.
calling tomorrow afternoon, it's going to have to be better. You're going to have to be aggressive. And if you don't, we will get beat. We'll see come tomorrow afternoon if we're winners or losers. And I'd like for this program to get to an unprecedented 4th win this
9,
season, which is 4
8,
more than anybody ever
7,
predicted. So
6,
let's win this football game
5.
for the fan base tomorrow.
Perfect. Eddie, you
And
timed it
thank
out
you for
perfect.
taking my call.
I appreciate that, Eddie. Yeah, they need to come motivated. You mentioned the game plan. They got to get after the quarterback.
Yeah, here we go. The hog trains are rolling to Columbia.
The addition of the defensive
It may look like a
lineman.
Greyhound bus rolling up 71.
Real quick. All right. I want to go back to Russville, Hong Kong Sui. You're going to be our last caller of the morning. Again, you got about a minute and a half, bud. What's your spiel this morning?
Well, first off, I wanted to say how much I appreciate y'all letting me follow up Eddie.
Yeah. Big shoes to
I don't know
fill
how I'm
there.
supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Really, Tommy,
Hey, Hong Kong, a lesser man would have just hung up and said, I'm not even trying this. So I admire
I
your
got you, I
courage.
got you.
I admire your courage.
Woo! Anyway, Tommy, I got one question for you when it comes to the officiating. Look, I know you guys do.
Now, your signal's breaking up there. I can't hear you.
Look, I hear you. I've been one of those guys that got on the officials at times in my life.
I bet you
I've
still are,
matured
too.
A little and maybe not quite as bad these days.
Mm-hmm.
But Mark Curlis,
Mm-hmm.
is that just pure incompetence, or does he have something against the Razorbacks? I mean, I'm not a blame the officials for everything kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But every time Mark Curlis calls one of our games, we get screwed.
Well, this past game.
It's just as simple as he's either entirely incompetent and needs to be removed, or he's got something against him.
Tell me what Mark Curlis did wrong in this last game. Because he has nothing to do with the replay, and all the calls on the field in question were none of his calls. He had nothing to do with the targeting.
His flag stayed in his pocket.
His flag was not involved in any of those plays. Yet, because he's the referee and has the white hat on, everybody wants to blame him. He's not the replay official. He didn't call the targeting foul. It just stems back to 09. I hear what you're saying, but again, we're blaming the messenger in that
It's not just 09, and I think we all know that. And at the
It's
end
like
of the
a bad
day,
marriage
Mark
where,
Curlis is the guy who's running that crew.
But he's
and he sets the standard.
Well,
I mean, just like, it's not any different than the quarterback always gets the blame and gets the credit.
Yeah.
I realize it's not all about what Mark Curtis says and does. But at the end of the day,
I do
he's the guy
think
that
that-
sets the tone for that ref, for that officials team.
Thanks for the
I do
call.
think when we see him, it does. The hair stands up on the back of our neck.
I
There's
agree
no
with
doubt
that.
about that.
It just sets
Yep.
a tone for the day that you know things are going to go wrong. I agree with that. So,
No arguments here from that turn. All right, our chosen one, the prodigal son, has returned this morning, just in time for a little
chosen
peanut butter.
one. I like that.
Little
He's been
peanut
back
butter
in the
pie.
homeland.
Been back in the homeland. I am exhausted this morning, boy. Let me tell you
We
something.
didn't expect you to be back this early.
Well, did you see? There's this thing called the dog back home, and the dog likes to wake me up. So, dog woke me up
There
about
you are.
4:30 this morning, just like she thought I was supposed to be up and headed to work. So, we're a little bit earlier than I thought, but I'm ready to rock and roll today.
So what did you decide on the rules wise?
Y'all got 10 minutes to see what just to do as much damage as you can do tomorrow.
Okay.
So here's what they're doing, Clay. They're going to eat as many tacos as they can eat in 10 minutes tomorrow during halftime of the Arkansas-Missouri game. So, let's see how this goes.
Okay.
I was listening in this morning a little bit. I sensed a little bit of fear in his voice this
Yeah,
morning.
I think he's backing up a little bit.
Is that right?
He sounded a little nervous this morning. But like I
No,
said, all the pressure's on Ty. I have no pressure on me.
Yeah.
Even though
If I
you-
lose, it's the greatest upset in the history of history, and I'll congratulate him. But if I win, everybody expects me to win.
All
So
right,
there's no pressure.
So come out to Joe's Grill and Cantina tomorrow. Doors are going to open at 10. You can watch the game. They're going to have their new Sipping Saturday brunch menu. So you can sip and enjoy on some new Saturday favorites for their brunch and some cocktails and then dollar tacos and then this taco eating deal at halftime. And get there early and watch the game with us.
Tommy, are you bringing your whistle to blow?
I might even bring my ref shirt. Now I just referee this thing.
Hey, real quick, loser does their shirtless on Monday. Deal.
Why am I being punished?
No, loser.
Why am I being
I'll do it.
punished?
Deal.
Best of luck to
Shake.
you. Best of luck to you, my
Loser
friend.
does their
Clay,
shirtless on Monday. Again,
Oh,
tomorrow,
taking
halftime,
Monday off.
Arkansas, Missouri.
Either way.
Hi, this is Jan. Thanks for calling Toyota.
Hi, Jan. I heard Toyotathon is on.
It sure is. We've got great year-end deals on Camry, RAV4, Tundra, Highlander, and more. Do you hear that?
That would be my mom. I'm home for the holidays, and apparently she's still eavesdropping on my calls like she used to.
What was that again about year-end deals?
Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Okay. And did I mention every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan?